Hi there.
What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome. Sound like an AOL shit. Welcome. Welcome to the den, man.
Hi there.
It's Friday night. I'm glad to see y'all. I hope y'all are having a wonderful evening. Um, we're gonna see who join us, man. We're gonna get into some good conversation. We'll go about 2 hours tonight and just talk about whatever is on your minds, and we'll get this party started. I guess I left a little bit on the edge. I'm looking a little too young. Uh, let's see what we got join us, man. Miss Bell, what's the motherfucking deal? Rashida Reed, how are you, Miss Rashida? I think I forgot to shout you out last stream. I saw you, and I think he was in there lurking a little bit, and I forgot to shout you out. Shout out to Miss Rashida. How you doing this evening, Miss Rashida? K Grace, always good to see you. Shout out to Miss Gates. Coltrane, Anubis, what's the motherfucking deal? Sweetberry32, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Beyond a funny nigga. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. DeMarkey. Fuck you. What's the motherfucking deal, DeMarkey? Empress Yaya, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Sam, appreciate the love. What's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. And Jason, ahoy, matey. Darcy blows. And Janet, Miss Janet, I apologize. How are you this evening, Miss Janet? What's the motherfucking deal? So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's have some good conversation. A lot of stuff been going on in the world. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not been on top of my P's and Q's as far as what's been happening. Too much outside of my own casa. Shonda, appreciate the love. What's the motherfucking deal? How are you this evening? Um, so my name, what's the motherfucking deal? So I hate that dude. I fucks with you. I hate that dude. Um, but here's my thing. Yes, it is my birthday. Yes, I am 35 years old. I remember last year. I think I had a birthday stream. I do believe I had a stream. I streamed on my birthday last year, somewhere around it at least. And man, it just seems like it wasn't that long ago, And I mean, I guess once you get a little bit older, time starts flying. When you're young, it seems like when you're young, like a kid, I mean, like elementary kid, school kid, like you don't know shit, and it seems like it takes forever for time to go by. 335 to knock from the house. What's the motherfucking deal? Appreciate the love. Thank you, sir. And it just seems like it takes forever, especially like when you got to go to school. Like school year lasts fucking forever. Soon as your ass get out of school, it is game over. It was like, nigga, last week I was 21. What the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying? Heidi. Well, there's Heidi. Miss Bad Bougie, what's the motherfucking deal? And so, it's just I think about it, and again, like I say, man, I know there were points in time in my life when I was up to tomfoolery and shenanigans. Shit I had no business doing. And then there were points in time in my life I looked at like, man, I didn't think that, there was always that next step. There was points where you didn't think I was like, shit, I don't know if I'm going to make it much past 18. 21 was a thing. Then you figure, I ain't going to never see 30. And then 35, I mean, it's not like 35 is necessarily very old. Thank you, Jason. But, just there was a point in time where I can honestly say, I did not think that there would be a day where, I mean, of course, in the last few years or so, it definitely changed up. But, my perspective has changed. Start trying to think a little bit more long term, trying to think a little bit more, about the world around me and, not necessarily living for the day, uh, I guess as you would call it. But there were just times that, you were just like, man, and then now you're at this point and you're looking like, man, there was definitely a couple of things that I probably should have done differently. I mean, there are no regrets, but had my mentality been just slightly different. It it is it would definitely be a different way. All right, D Love, appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Uh, D Love on a mission. Um, Stay safe out there, or maybe stay dangerous. Yes, that's stay. No, don't stay safe. Stay dangerous. Everybody got to be more dangerous. These it's 20. We're going into 2020. You got to be a little bit more dangerous. Um, but yeah, man, like I say, so
Dan
outside of
Strong
that, nothing
donated
special.
$10.
Oh,
Happy birthday, my G. Do your best to age like wine, not milk.
appreciate the love, Dan Strong, man. Yes, um, definitely don't want to age like milk. If I'd have been on some of my old habitries, I probably would definitely be on the milk path. I mean, a little bit of wine, a little bit of milk. That sounds disgusting if you probably mix them together. But yeah, man. So thank you, Dan Strong, man. And I'm glad you could join us this evening. And so it's just like I say, man. It's cool. I think I spent more time just kind of reminiscing and appreciating and counting my blessings more so than anything. Um, and just appreciative for life, man. Because there's a lot of good folks. I think I spent a little bit of time just kind of reminiscing on good people that have been in my life, that have passed. How people in recent years have shown their have shown their true colors, and you just you gotta let people do them. People will show you who they are. People will expose themselves. Like, well, we use digital photos now, but like them old Polaroids. Eventually, I guess the exposure and everything clears up, and then you see who people really are. You see what they're really about. And like I said, I don't do too much. I just let people position themselves in my life where they necessarily see fit. So, nothing but thanks to all of you who have been riding with the Kush Den or the Den now, but who've been riding with the Den since the Kush Den really fucking beyond the funny nigga. Kush Den Honcho. Yeah, Kush Den Honcho was out of there. He was on some other shit. But I just appreciate all of y'all, and I thank you all for riding with it. So let's talk about what's been going on in the world, man. And like I said, it's been a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I have not been on top of everything. I did hear though that the little 6ix9ine guy, he ratted on everybody in the den. Everybody was in the Kush Den. They asked him about it. He snitched on everybody in the Kush Den. So I think we're all 9 Trey Bloods, if I'm not mistaken. So we all got snitched on. I don't know if y'all been following that case. That man has been telling on everybody, but I think you got various issues with it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I saw Jay Prince kind of, throw his 2 cents in on it. And I haven't listened. I don't know if he was back in court today. I know he had 2 or 3 days of testimony, and but he told on who was it, Jim Jones and Cardi B, right? Said that they're members of this 9 Trey Bloods, right? And then you have what's the dude's name? DJ K-Slay, I think, come out. Oh, come on, man. Oh, that's not even true. He's just trying to make the industry look really bad. And come on, man. These people have sat there themselves and talked about, they Bloods and they this and they that. And, Jim Jones sat there and talked about, when it wasn't cool to be a Blood in New York,
NYPD donated
and all this
$5.
like crazy stuff.
We appreciate
man.
Daniel Hernandez cleaning the streets of New York.
We appreciate Daniel Hernandez cleaning the streets of New York. Shout out to Daniel Hernandez. It was all a big undercover sting. They didn't even realize it. Wise, appreciate the love, man. Only one lie, appreciate the love. Thank you very much. So like I say, it's just when a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time, they absolutely. Shout out to the NYPD. Appreciate the love. But yeah, man, but here's my thing. It's like, come on. These people are self-proclaimed Bloods, and then you got people just really like, come on, like rap is what it is. If I was to sit here and tell you, I have definitely declined the amount of rap music I've done significantly. You know what I'm saying? Significantly. Oh, Heidi. Oh, I get it. Carlos Hyde D. You know what I'm saying? Because Carlos Hyde and I share a birthday. Wow, Carlos Heidi, what a joke. But no, and so my thing is just like quit trying to cape for these people, and I think we have that bad with entertainers as a whole. Like if they're fucking up, and they're self-proclaimed fucking up, they've admitted to their fuckery. Like why? Like real thing took out Steve. Why try to go and cover? These people have multiple interviews. What Cardi B calling herself Barty B and all that stuff. The one that's no, I hadn't seen. I hadn't seen the one he posted. I have to check it out. But it's just like, come on, man. Let's just stop the nonsense. Stop the crazy stuff. I don't know. That's what a weird thing. Weird stuff. I get weird text messages on the line sometimes. Not like cool weird, just weird random stuff. Have no idea who, what, where, when, or how. But yeah, so like I said, that whole thing, like, come on, man, they're self-proclaimed, and then the guy says, yeah, they're affiliated, and they got phone calls of Jim Jones, I guess, saying a dude need to be violated or whatever. And again, it is what it is. He's telling them there will be a Lifetime movie for 6ix9ine. Shaolin, what's the motherfucking deal, brother Shaolin? Always good to see you, man. Always good to see you flooding cars on purpose. What? 335 didn't say hi to Heidi? I don't blame him. Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's going to be huge. It's going to be how I infiltrated the biggest blood gang in New York and walked away. Break the risk and walk away. Break the risk and walk away. Let me see what else happened. What else happened? If anybody has it, because I've been trying to find it. I think I saw it on Twitter. I swore I saw it on Instagram, but I couldn't find it. The meme of the chick it's like the biggest thing going right now. I know Beyond has posted a couple of variations of the meme, but the one where the chick doesn't look like she looks on Instagram, those are possibly some of the greatest faces made in the history of video. Like, it's not even a whole lot of verbiage in the video. I don't even think they say anything. It is that video itself. Like, there's two videos that I've watched just crazy amount of time for some reason, just like repeatedly over and over, and just like I got stuck watching them. It was that video, and there's a video I had shared on my Twitter of this little girl kicking the shit out of her little brother or whatever it is. I cannot help but just watch that video over and over. It's like a 4 or 5 second video. But it's like, I don't know if they were wrestling or playing or what, but it's just like she comes with this fucking flying Chun-Li kick and kicks the dog shit. But the funny thing about the video is like, Ray, appreciate the love, man. Fuck your couch. But it's like the mom in the background, she's like doing some weird shit like this. It's like she's all zoned out. You can tell they fucking stoned or something. And you just see this little girl in fucking pink pants just come flying across the screen with this one-legged fucking super kick. And Baker, man, what's the motherfucking deal? Footballer 503, appreciate the love, man. It might be the greatest, man. It's just like that video's so crazy. But she just flies across. You don't even see the little brother's face. And it's like you don't hear the kick land, but you hear the little boy hitting the fucking ground. It's a great video. There's that. That's something I did want to talk about briefly. And normally we don't talk sports in the den, right? Normally we do not talk sports in the den. But Beyond, don't you get on that train. You stay away from that, Beyond. Normally I don't talk sports in the den, but I gotta talk about my favorite clown. And no, I'm not talking about Krusty the Clown. No, I'm not talking about Bozo the Clown. I'm not talking about it. I am talking about... Appreciate that, Impaler, man. Appreciate the love. AB, Antonio fucking Brown, the Clown. And my thing is this, right? Pennywise is an asshole. My thing is this, and I don't think I've ever even watched it. I don't think I watched the original. I don't think I've watched the remake. I don't even think I watched the It part. I don't think I've seen any of the It's. Now that I really think, I've been telling myself I'm going to watch. I don't think I've watched any of it. But now, the whole allegations against him, the initial one, I still haven't followed up on the second one. I think the one that did. I think the second one was the chicken with Sports Illustrated or whoever. Now, the first allegation with the trainer, I was like, I don't think he did it. I don't think he did to the extent of what she's saying. They probably fucked around and did some things, and this may be some backlash after it. But I don't think he like raped the chick. But the dude is such a fucking idiot. Like, and people try to say, "Oh, this guy's a mastermind. He's brilliant. He executed this." The dude's a fucking idiot, and his stupidity just landed him in a favorable position. Like, even with the whole, the Raiders released him, whatever. Like, that whole little video was staged. Like, I'm just wondering, like, I don't know. I'm assuming he was raised in a black household. Like, I was raised in a black household. I'm not sure. I'm sure other households don't. I know that AC was on, and that fucking glass door was just wide open. I know his people raised him better than that. That's how you know that shit was staged. Niggas ain't leaving no doors just open unnecessarily. That shit'll bring back flashbacks of ass whoopings and locked doors and shit. But here's my thing though. It's just like, he went over there and it's just like, I can only imagine like the roller coaster he was on. He just thought he won. He figured like, I won, maybe lost a little bit of money, but he got a $15 million. He's not getting paid anything from the fucking, not getting paid anything from the fucking Patriots. Like, he hasn't been paid anything yet. Got 1 week of service. I think because they can cancel that $9 million signing bonus because it wasn't all up front. Not getting shit from the Raiders. Like, ultimately, and if no other team picks him up, he basically made $100,000 for the year. A little bit more than $100,000 for the year. Maybe like $150,000. And again, I'm not acting like that's just chump change, but for what he could have been making just playing his role and being a teammate, and that's why I say, like, I have no love for Antonio Brown. It's not even because of necessarily the other shit, but it's like, if you've ever been a part of a team, if you've ever been a part of something that has to operate together as a unit or whatever it may be, a job, and you rely on one or whatever, like, you just have a role. The fact that he just played with all them other dudes that thought that they would be able to depend on him, well, they should have knew better because of who he was. And it was so about him in that whole Raiders situation. The dude goes to Derek Carr's house the day he gets there, just phony. Everything was phony. You know what I'm saying? Everything was fucking phony. Like, there's no way I can commend a man in any of his. He's a fraud, and his character shows that there's nothing good about this man's character. So, like, I don't care if he won. Like, I usually root for people to win. I usually root for everybody to get the best outcome ever. But he is a fraudulent individual. Kenneth, what's the motherfucking deal? Unbeaten, what's the motherfucking deal? But he's such a fraudulent dude. Like, I don't care how good he is. Like, every catch that you make is just fraud. It's just this that you know what I'm saying? The kid called us stupid. Wow, that's tough. Man, look, I said the same. The dude had like one little blue dread, one little blonde mustache. Like the dude does anything for attention. The dude is not mentally stable. Again, he's just like he's like that bad kid that used to be in class. Like, he wasn't a special needs kid. He wasn't a special ed kid, but he was on the brink. He just had really bad behavior. You know what I'm saying? He just had really bad behavior. And so you kind of like had to deal with him, but they just kind of let him make it just because it was just like, you got so tired of his bullshit. It's just like, it ain't no point, just whatever. And you should have known the Patriots ain't having that shit. Look, they didn't have killers on the team. They didn't had racists on the team. They had every other motherfucking thing. Oh, no, that was the Eagles. That was Riley Cooper, the Eagles. But they've had everything else on the team, right? But these accusations, and it wasn't really the accusations. I'm gonna tell you what it was that got him cut. It's fucking Bill Belichick doesn't want any distractions in that locker room, right? And he got tired at the press conference. He walked out of the press conference. All he kept doing was asking about AB, AB, AB. I'm telling you, he walked immediately out of that press conference and told him, get him off my fucking team. He's not worth the fucking hassle. And they let his ass go right there. I'm telling you. And look, there's a couple of clowns out there talking about signing Brown. There's a couple of clowns out there talking about signing Antonio Brown. Like, really believe this is a man of integrity. Oh, the locker room will keep him in check. No, the fuck they won't. No, the fuck they won't. Who? Hop ain't finna fuck with him. He just gonna do what he do. The rest of them niggas ain't finna fuck with him. They just gonna, let him play himself out. Nobody wants to fuck with that dude. And JJ ain't checking nobody. I don't know why people think JJ be checking for. JJ doesn't check anybody. JJ's worried about JJ's brand, and that's it. Like, I'm not mad at the man for that, but JJ ain't regulating nobody. JJ ain't no dog in that locker room. Nobody's listening to JJ. Like, he does what he does, and it sounds good, but nobody's listening to that. Like, nobody's really listening to JJ like that. Like, I promise you, if you've been in a locker room with certain guys, I've been in the locker rooms with the JJ types. Yeah, I hear you, but and motherfuckers don't fuck with you like that. They're not listening to you. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And he's not checking nobody in that locker room. Like, there's no personalities that's really doing it. He's just gonna be there wasting a bunch of fucking space. You know what I'm saying? And so there's no point. And again, and so what? So they can do the same shit with him? You know what I mean? It kind of is what it is. Like, he'll be the same situation as any of the rest of these places that he'll go. It's not worth it. What are you gonna get out of it? The dude made a whole big deal about a helmet just to promote some other helmet, just to go back to the original company of the helmet. Like, the dude has mental issues for real. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. But it's not even about the allegation. It wouldn't have been an issue with the allegation if he wouldn't have been still texting the chick, basically harassing her and talking shit. That's basically what it. If he'd have just shut the fuck up and let the shit play out the way that it's going to play out here or there, because the NFL wouldn't even fuck with him. But when you start texting the motherfucker and start harassing and talking shit to the motherfucker while a situation is going on, it's not going to work out well for you. It's not going to work out well for you. But that's my thing is, like, the allegations would have been whatever they were, and I think they still would have let him make it. But the fact that you go and you start texting the accuser and you start talking shit while this shit is going on, that's going to make you look a certain kind of way, whether you're guilty or not. Whether you talking shit to her because you know you ain't do it or whatever it may be. But it's like, just leave it be. Like, don't give it any attention. Don't give it any fuel to the fire. But he's so dumb that he can't do that. His ego is so big and so inflated, he cannot let that shit go. So, again, it is what it is. Kenneth says he has an ankle injury. Well, hopefully, Kenneth, if your ankle is injured, you're focusing on the books until you can't get back on the field. If you would have went to T360 Elite like I told you to, you wouldn't have had that ankle injury. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Damn, the headbutt. That's terrible. That's terrible. Who we got to ride on? You let me know, man. You let me know what we got to do, man. You ain't got the Kiki injury because you ain't putting up the Kiki numbers. So here is the deal. And like I said, I probably get a Mixer Crew some love tonight. Just because I haven't given y'all a little love. No, I unfortunately, no. Let me talk about the flood for just a second. Fortunately, no, Mr. Red did not. Ended up moving from that side of town. I guess perfect timing. You know what I'm saying? Because the area, but even the area I was in, even during Harvey, like, I was relatively unscathed. It was crazy because, like, the neighborhood directly across the street were flooded. Motherfuckers was in boats and shit. But where I was, there was water, but it wasn't, nothing got damaged. Nobody really got like impacted like that. So the Harvey situation was fortunate. I don't know how that exact area was during these last couple of days, but like I said, I have relocated, so really wasn't that bad over here. Like I say, it had a little bit of the. They were just telling people not to drive in certain spots with a little bit of high water, but I've been very fortunate when it comes to the water. Now today I went to go early to go get to get a fresh retwist, and I thought it was cool. I was like, all right, I'll be smart. I'm gonna get out early just in case maybe a little rain or whatever. And I'm like, forecast. And I assumed yesterday I was looking at the forecast. They kind of over predict early on, and then when it comes to, it usually declines. The percentages decline. I'm like, oh, good, Gucci, I'm good. So I'm sliding down the freeway. I'm down 10. Bend the corner, hop up on 610. Slide to 45. Get to fucking 45. Dog. It took me a good 30 minutes to go about just under 10 miles. Like, just under 10. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I thought I was smart. Like, I'm gonna get out of here early. I'm gonna be early for the appointment. Maybe I can get out of here a little bit earlier. A little bit, get in early. Maybe I can get out early. I'm on that. I ended up making that bitch right on time and fucking with that goddamn rain. And then, like, as soon as I get it, really started fucking coming down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, right, I don't even know what Karachi, Pakistan is, Heidi. So, like I said, it was crazy. And then, like I said, it was pouring down. Like, I'm like, oh, it's going to be terrible coming back. But fortunately, it was super dry. Once I got up out of there, man. So it was good. It was good. So, I appreciate the songs. Only One Lot. I guess I need to get some pistachios. All right. Let me stop talking, man. I want to hear from y'all, man. I want to know how y'all doing. I want to know how y'all week has been. I want to know what's on your mind. I want to know, I just want to know. I want to know what turns you on. No, let me stop. Singing is not my forte. I start singing. I log out today and it'll have 0 subs. Yeah, man. I saw somebody upset because they had sent some kids to school yesterday and the little kids were walking on like the benches. I'm like, man, kids love them type of games. Motherfuckers used to be small. Okay, man, you can't step on the floor because the floor is lava. If you do, you burn up. All right, So them little kids wasn't tripping on that shit at all, man. So it's all Gucci. All right, give me a second. Let me get the line tooted and booted here. Let's get something good going on. Let's have some good conversation. I fucked around and was playing at Gears 5. It was alright. I ended up beating it the other day. It was just a short kind of campaign. It was cool and all that. I might actually give it a go at some type of multiplayer. I'm lying. I may or may not. I may just fuck around and play Hitman. I've been getting pretty good at the Hitman. Now that I've kind of gotten this patience out of nowhere, instead of just trying to run through the fucking missions just to get it done, like I've started developing patience. Like I understand Hitman a lot better. It's much more fun to play. I've been getting pretty good. I think the last 5, 6, 7, 8 times I really played it. Sometimes I've been replaying some of the levels and stuff because you can beat them so many ways. That should be right. That I haven't killed anybody. So I feel pretty proud of myself because usually I just try to kill everybody I can and just get up out of there. But I've been actually pretty successful at not killing people, and I mean it's kind of, I guess, not what it hit me. I guess you're only supposed to kill the targets, but it is what it is. While we're doing that real quick, I guess I should post that up. I'm your host, Ed Honcho. If you don't know, I probably should did that at the beginning of the stream, but hey, better late than never. Make sure you're following on the Twitters at Den Show Live. And I got to get more active on the Den Show Twitter. Make sure you're following on Facebook at Den Show Live. Make sure you're following on the Grizzam at Den Show Live. And podcast. podcast will be getting back active. Like I said, I've been trying to wind up, get everything cleaned up. denshowpodcast.com, so we'll start dropping more podcasts. Won't be a live one tomorrow, but I'm starting doing some private podcasts for the Patreon supporters, and I'm going to still have some other podcasts too. So, like I said, it's just going to be, I'm really going to start flooding content. Now that everything's settled out, I'm comfortable. Now that I got a solid space that I'm not sweating and dying, I have to kind of set the closet up for recording with better sound and everything. I'm going to be ready to roll and really start giving y'all the Den content you guys deserve. If you want to pledge to the channel, you go to denfolk.com. The www sometimes make a trip, but if you just want to go to denfolk.com, you can do that. If you want to pledge monthly to the channel, if you want to get you some merch, kind of like that. That's unfortunate. Can't forget the Den. Man, hold up. Can't forget the Den. Y'all don't even know where that comes from. I forgot I put that on there. Oh, that's amazing. Y'all, I got excited. Joe Hondo, appreciate appreciate the sub. I forgot I made that fucking I forgot I put that noise there. That shit got me crunk. Got me want to start freestyle. Freestyle Friday. Hold up, baby. I will activate the super chat also, since a particular foreigner has requested. Everything else, yeah, if you want to donate to the channel, you can go to denjamins.com or you can go to streamlabs.com/The Den Show. Both of them actually go to the same thing, just be easier. One don't work, try the other. And I think everything else looks good. Let's get this Denline active. The number is on the screen. Let's see. 6'9" snitched on AB. That's funny. AB snitched on himself. 6'9" gonna snitch on Brian Cushion using them performance enhancing. That coach, he got the performance enhancing drugs. Already. Fucking three. What's the motherfucking deal, man? We got calling. We got called into the Denline this evening.
Happy birthday, Henchy. It's Jason S.
Jason S. Appreciate the love, Jason S. Thank you, sir. What's on your mind? How's your week been, Jason? I know you recently you switched schools into this school. How is school going for you so far, Jason S?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. One thing first, right off the bat, one thing that threw me off about this school is that it's old. And
school,
I knew that it was old. Yeah, because there's separate buildings. Like there's the A building, there's the B building, there's the D building, and then there's the C building.
Okay. A, B, C. So which building are you in? Which building do you spend the majority of your time in?
Mostly the A building.
Okay.
Yeah. They're pretty close. Funny enough, we had a fire drill today, so they made this is very different. They made us go to the football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They made us go to the football stadium because of a fire drill. And funny enough, this is the first fire drill that we've had. I'm not making that up.
The first fire drill?
Yep.
Okay.
And get this, the other school, Layman, has had like 18 of them bitches.
God damn. Hey, that means that school probably has some type of potential harmful situations going on. It might be, they're training for more than fire drills over there, so consider yourself lucky, if you will. Because if they've had 18 fire drills, if they've had 18 fire drills, then they're definitely prepping for a little bit of something. Hey man, you know what else was supposed to be today? I just thought about. It was supposed to be the Area 51 raid thing today.
Oh shit, that.
Yeah.
Did you see you probably saw it, but did you see the video of it was like a news reporter as somebody was doing the Naruto run in the background.
Yes, I did see the Naruto run in
That
the
was pretty
background.
fucking funny.
Yes, that guy is a hero. The guy is
Yeah.
definitely a hero.
Yeah. One of the YouTubers that I'm subscribed to apparently went to the Area 51 raid in an astronaut suit, and that's
Astronaut. So, did anybody? Did they just kind of hang around the front gate, or did they actually get in? I mean, what what happened? It's
from the
very odd at
videos that
third
I saw,
hand.
they were just hanging around the front gate. They're just talking with security, having small talk with security.
Okay.
They dressed up too.
So they just they just made it. They just made an event and just hung out with security. I guess they made the security guards day, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I still stand in terms of alien beliefs. I do believe in aliens.
Hmm.
I didn't show up to Area 51 because I didn't buy Nevada plane tickets.
Oh, they probably
I didn't even. I told when I got home, I told my dad about it. He was like, "Hey, did you know the Area 51 raid was going on?" And he just and he just lost it. He was like, "Oh no."
does anyone else in your family believe in
Hmm?
extraterrestrials?
I don't think so. They, I bet if I told them that I believed in aliens, they'd think I was doing drugs.
Hmm. Well, I mean, you know, there's that. The drugs thing can be here or there. I'm not gonna go too far into that, but yeah, okay, okay. Anything else that's on your mind there, Jason S?
mm, Aside from having sleep hallucinations that have so whenever I try to fall asleep, and this happened Wednesday night,
Mm.
I felt like I heard a dying cat. And now I don't know if it was in my room or if it was outside, which it probably could have been outside, but the way I was hearing it, I was like hearing it in my room. And it was like saying "let me out" or something like that. And I woke up and I was spooked. Just straight spooked. I could not fall asleep after that.
A dying cat saying, "Let me out."
Yes. And this was when I was trying to fall asleep.
Do you have a basement or anything like that?
The fuck I don't. I have an attic.
Mm. Could the cat have been in
But
that? I mean, do you keep hostages in your attic?
uh wait, what?
Do you or anyone in your family? Do they have a habit of keeping hostages, possibly in the attic?
No.
Okay.
I mean they rarely go up there. The only time they do is when they're getting Christmas decorations.
Okay. Okay.
But I will say this though. I'll say this about that, about me hearing the dying cat. It wouldn't be the first time that I heard something that wasn't there when I was trying to fall asleep.
So how often does this happen that you hear these noises or things that when you're trying to go to sleep?
It happens. It actually happens pretty frequently. I remember. I remember one night, and I had my eyes closed. I swear to God, I saw. It was almost like a wave. But my eyes were kind of closed. But I could feel the wave, and I could feel somebody saying hello. I'm not making that up. I swear to God, I'm not making that up. I used some odd shit when I like. There was even a point in time where no, there wasn't a point in time. There was like another instance where I was trying to fall asleep, and I swear that I thought that I heard a crying baby.
A crying baby.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm legit not making that up.
okay, so I got a question about this baby. Um, What race was the baby that you heard that was crying?
How the fuck would I know?
I mean, this is important
I
stuff.
wasn't there. I didn't. Okay. Like the way it sounded. I don't know. Why would you ask that?
I mean, I'm just curious. I'm pretty sure not only me, but the people want to know what was the race was. Was it an Asian baby? Because those can be very dangerous babies. I'm just curious. People are curious. You know, we have questions, and we're trying to get to the root of the situation, and you know, we can come to a resolution. Maybe we can help you out with your problem.
Yeah. Doesn't help when you Google it either.
What did you come up with when you Googled it? You used the old Googleizer.
So apparently, I don't remember. What it. Hang on. I don't remember exactly what it said. I'm actually typing it right now.
You looked up crying baby sleep deal.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is what it says. Voices as you fall asleep or wake up. These are to do with your brain being partly in a dreaming state. The voice might call your name or say something brief. You might also see strange things or misinterpret things you can see. These experiences usually stop as soon as you are fully awake. So, with that being said, you know, and mind you, I never heard the dying cat, the baby, or whatever that thing was when I woke up. So I guess that's an answer to my question. Like, why do I keep hearing these things when I fall asleep? But why do I not hear them when I wake up?
I think you just have an active mind. And do you fall asleep easily? Do you sometimes have trouble falling asleep? Is it difficult for you to go to sleep, or take a little while?
Sometimes it takes a little while due to the insomnia, but most of the time when I'm actually very tired, I usually fall asleep pretty quickly.
Okay. So why it says Google sleep apnea? That might be the case. Again, I think it's just an active mind. You're trying to go to bed, and you may just be hearing things. Man, oh man, Bad Blues. That's so funny that you mentioned warm milk, because that used to be a thing when it was the Kush deal. We used to, say if you were of age, roll up, and then if you were underage, to get you a glass of warm milk and take your ass to bed. That's funny. Hadn't thought about warm milk in quite some time. All right. Well, Jason S., I don't have the answers, but I'll try to look into it. Maybe some of the den folk can provide some insight, maybe with their own personal experiences on odd sleep behaviors. But
when I get back in, I'm gonna put money on it that most of them will probably be saying that I'm on drugs.
Yeah, you definitely be right.
Yeah. Where's my money at?
Yeah, you would definitely be a winner in that scenario.
Yeah. But you may not have the answers for it, but I don't expect you to. So just keep that in mind.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call, Sir Jason S., and hopefully you don't hear too many of the odd voices in the near future.
Yeah, I hope not. But later, man.
All right. Yeah, man. Babies and dying cats. That's the way we get the call started off in the den this evening. I don't know. I definitely do not know where to go with that one. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, man? It's John from New York. How you doing?
Man, John, how you been, John? How's it going? I'm good.
I've been hanging in there. How you been?
Oh, man, all right. No complaints. The world, life is good.
Good to hear you doing better than Antonio Brown.
Much better. Yeah, I'm not gonna text harass anybody who is filing any lawsuits against me. So there's that. But yeah, that's a crazy situation. What do you think about that? How do you feel about that? Do you think Brown is guilty or he's just an idiot, or both?
When the news about the first lady came out, who was like team trainer or massage lady or something like that, I said to myself, well, she's got to prove it. Like innocent until proven guilty. So I said, he should be able to play until she can provide evidence and the court case, comes to fruition, and either the team realizes that he's looking more guilty or less guilty, then they should make a decision going forward. So I felt like you're innocent until proven guilty. But then, like, when more news started coming out about other girls and other stories about him, and he's texting pictures of kids to fucking somebody and using it, like, I said, all right, but you're doing too much. And then that's to me, in my opinion, I think that the Patriots probably got some wind of some back alley news saying, hey, there's a lot more to come that we didn't realize. Let's get rid of now. We made a mistake.
Yeah. The guy definitely, I don't know, it's just something going on with him. I think it's...
Voodoo donated $15.
believe that he
Happy
has some mental issues
motherfucking
going.
birthday.
Appreciate the love, Voodoo.
Yeah, he did come off that way to me too when I saw a couple of videos of him talking. But then another thing is, the second lady that accused him of misconduct, I think that was like a painter that came to his house or something like that.
No.
And if I understand correctly, she said something like he turned around and he was jerking off behind her or something like that.
That's
And I just, who does that?
yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, other than Louis C.K., who does that?
I guess you can always just hang up on Louis. But the crazy thing about that, I mean, I guess and that's why I say I'm a big believer. Like, appreciate celebrities or athletes or whatever for what they do, because behind the scenes, a lot of these motherfuckers are a bit more thrown off than your average everyday person. I think a lot of these people have issues going on. I don't think all of them are as extreme maybe as what AB has going on, but again, like I say, just appreciate them for what they do. Don't put these people on pedestals, because they have situations, and again, like I say, it's something really going on with him. Like, I don't know. Is there a thing that gives you some type of power thrill of jacking off on women or something like that? I mean, you're probably one of the most prominent athletes in the world. You could probably get what you want if you ask nice enough, but I guess you just
yeah, I don't know. I would imagine you don't even have to ask. It's just thrown at you.
Yeah.
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah.
There's plenty of groupies out there.
So I don't know. That's all.
But I just feel it's just crazy because the guy went from a big guaranteed contract. He went to fighting with management, recording people's phone calls, to getting signed again for a lot less guaranteed money. Granted, it was a 1-year deal. Losing a helmet deal, losing a Nike sponsorship, more women claiming he's doing some weird shit, and getting fired. I mean, that's a roller coaster of a month for somebody.
Yeah. Shit, it seems like what the last 2 weeks, really? Honestly, because we spent a week, about 11 days, 11 days with the Patriots, and then those few days with the Raiders right before that. So a little over 2 weeks. It's I forgot about the Nike deal and everything. So there's probably a lot of news floating around that hasn't come to the surface yet, because if Nike's going ahead and saying, okay, we're going to go ahead and disown him, and everybody else, there's definitely some things that are about to come.
Yeah, but if there isn't a lot of additional news coming to the surface, then I think that he should have been able to keep his job, because he should be able to, prove his innocence instead of just being assumed guilty.
Yeah.
But like we both kind of alluding to, there probably is something extra.
Yeah.
But did you I think you talked about it, but did you watch the Revolt TV summit with Killer Mike, T.I., and Candace Owens?
A little bit of it. I hadn't gotten all of it, because I know Prepaid said he was about an hour and a half, so I didn't see all of it. I saw, like I said, a good chunk of the couple of Killer Mike clips. I saw a little bit of the exchange between T.I. and Candace Owens.
Yeah, I watched probably like 45 minutes of it. I was actually watching the Tommy Sotomayor live stream, and he was giving a breakdown of it, and he was just heavy. He was flipping his lid. I mean, he's a conservative, so he was like flipping his lid. He had some colorful things to say.
Oh, yeah.
But
it was funny.
yeah, it was just crazy, man. It was crazy. Like I like Candace Owens. I think I mean, she's a conservative like me. I like her because she's smart, she's confident, she's outspoken, she's pretty. I like her, but that was just not. She was just out of place being there.
Yeah,
I felt like that wasn't her crowd, you know. And you know, when I don't know if you heard, but when T.I. asked her like when was America great for black people, and she kind of like just started like, well, you know, slavery was legal all around the world. Just like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. Was. I mean, it would have been. There was nothing that she could have said. Even if she would have gave the same response as Killer Mike, I don't think there's anything that she could have said that really would have won the crowd over just because of the energy.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think the odds were stacked against her from the beginning because she's a conservative. But I mean, this might sound weird. This probably sounds weird, but she doesn't know how to talk to black people.
No.
Like, she doesn't know how to talk to young, non-conservative black people to get your point across. You know what I mean? Like, that's something like a lot of presidents, like Bill Clinton had it. Like, you know, some people are just natural, like, smooth talkers. They're suave. They can get people to listen to them and like them. And she's got to learn how to do that with crowds that are not for her in the very beginning of the conversation.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of things that she could have said that would have made perfect sense, and she could have explained them if she had to in very simple terms that could have answered the question, when was Black America great, and it would have shut everybody up because you can't deny it.
Yeah.
You know, and I would have said to T.I., I would have been like, well, I know when Black America was great for you, like now. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got your second gun charge, you got your second charge with the feds, and you got a sweet light deal because you snitched, and you're still worth $50 million. You're a free man. You got a family. This, that. Like, America's pretty great for you.
Exactly.
But you know, the reason why I feel like, the reason why I'm talking about this is I got into a recent debate with somebody over this, and they was basically saying the same thing, like, well, tell me when America was great for black people. And I was like, but that's the thing, like, Make America Great Again isn't about, like, a race relation thing necessarily. It's more about, like, the country on, like, a macro level, like the economy, the military, jobs, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, you know, and I was like, because even when there was a time when America was great for white people, there were still issues that white people had, although they were different than what issues that black people have had and currently have. You know, so you know, Make America Great doesn't mean like America is perfect. It just means, you know, make it great again, make it better, take it back to a time when you liked. And I feel that black people could say the same thing. You know, I mean, I feel like Candace Owens Candace Owens or Katrina Pearson or anybody could have just been like, there were plenty of times when black people were in a better position in certain areas of life than they are now in America. You know, I mean, like, you know, your girlfriend is not perfect, you know, but she's still great. So you don't have to be perfect to be great. You know, like your mom's not perfect. You know, only God is perfect, but you still think your mom is great, right? So that's kind of how I would have played it. And then, you know, I think a good answer would have been like, you know, Black America was great when the out of wedlock rate was lower than white people's out of wedlock rate. You know, I wrote a bunch of shit down, and I kind of wanted to see what you think of it, because I think that she should have used this, and I'm kind of embarrassed that she's as smart as she is, and she does this for a living, and she couldn't come up with the fucking answer.
Yeah.
You know, so this is what I wrote. Let's see here. When the number of black births were above the number of black abortions.
Yes.
When fathers weren't paid and influenced to leave the house under the Great Society Act. When the out of wedlock rate was when a black child was more likely to be born to two parents than a white family, than a white child. Manufacturing jobs were abundant in America, which helped, you know, which was a big deal with the Great Migration, with black people going up north, like to the Midwest, like Michigan, Illinois, and stuff like that. Areas like Detroit, Pontiac, and Dearborn were like beautiful neighborhoods with green lawns, safe neighborhoods. A greater percentage of black millionaires than there are now, pre-1960.
Yes.
Stronger and respected military, which usually had a large percentage of black people in it, and the military provides, you know, income, a job, security. They give free education, provides discipline for young kids out of high school. Let's see here. A great time for Black America was back when musicians weren't. Well, this goes. A lot of things I'm saying too, just to make clear, goes for all races of Americans. When musicians weren't calling women bitches, hoes, and thoughts, and degrading women. When women weren't surgically modified to look beautiful. When men were more chivalrous. When men were more masculine. When men weren't wearing dresses. When the American dollar was backed by precious metals instead of being backed by nothing. Pre HIV crisis. Now like people don't have any skills. Back in the day, there was people relied more on a skill, whether it was working in the factory or a carpenter or electrician or a construction contractor. Lower events of gun violence, lower drug usage. The crack era for Black people, the heroin and meth era for white people. So I just feel like those are all things you could have, that she could have said, but like those are times when Black America was great. I mean, and what's somebody going to say? Like, no, those aren't good things for Black people. Those are good things for any race of people.
But you are going to have these people, man, because there's always a crew, and this is what I've noticed, especially, and it bothers me because it's a lot of, especially this younger generation who has probably had it easier than anybody else. As far as access to information and opportunities to create, especially independently, they're going to find fault with everything. It's again, and once you approach stuff with a mentality, people are going to find a fault with it. Well, then it was something it's going to be deflected to a different situation that was going on. Because, like I said, like even when, what's his name, Killer Mike said, immediately after the first, I think he said 7, I can't remember if it was 7 or 15 years, immediately after slavery was over, that's when you had the highest percentage of, Black landowners, farmers, that if you needed skilled labor, you had to hire Black guys because they were doing all the work, or you had to hire Black people because they were doing all the work in those opportunities. And then, what bothers me, I think, is part of it is how the history is taught, and we can get into the politics and who's teaching what and this, that, and the third. But, that I wish that other stories were told about Black history other than just, Martin Luther King. Because there are a lot of great, like even during times of slavery, we can talk about the first Black slave, and I'm not even really referring to him, but there were Black people who were doctors, who were lawyers, and you can say they're anomalies, you can say whatever they want, but I think if people study more about how these people who were able to overcome, real oppression, real situations where, it was basically legal almost for you to do these things, and they were able to thrive. I think people would find it a bit easier to relate to thriving in a time now where it's not. It's more, to me, it's a mental thing, because like I said, I talk about it often, like when I change my mentality about certain stuff, like how opportunities change and how things shifted for me. And so, but I think what you have is people are going to look back at then and, the thing they're going to say, well, Jim Crow, or they're going to say, slavery, they're going to say whatever else is going on that was holding them back, as opposed to, well, yeah, these were things that were not beneficial to Blacks, but at the same time, you found that Black families were making the most of these opportunities, and even without that, what's the word I want to use here? Maybe that legal representation or whatever you want to call it, they still seem to have things more together then than you do now. And it's just like now, what's it's a term I'm looking for. That's what I've been trying to reach for. I can't figure out the term, but it's like basically, it's almost like when you give somebody too many options and they don't know how to make good decisions. And I hate to say this because it sounds like I'm talking about putting people back in a bad situation, but it's just like when you almost had to force Black people to stick together to, like I say, build their own neighborhoods, to do these things. As soon as those opportunities were taken away, it's like they lost the sense of that, and then it just kind of started going all willy-nilly. But I think all the points that you made were good points. It's just like, but again, what I feel like, and what I've been saying, because like I said, there's a couple people I follow on different platforms and just kind of listen to what they say, and I just sometimes try to avoid comment sections, but I get into, and it's like you see that same argument, well, this or well that, but then it's like, well, what about the people who were able to thrive in spite of the odds being against them? Like, why don't we commend those people more instead of worrying so much about the people who didn't? Like that's kind of the angle I try to look at it. Something like that.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if you do build a strong economy and you do build a strong military and you do bring manufacturing jobs back to America, I mean, that benefits every race of people in America, and one of them being black people. But my whole thing is, like, the comparison that I said to the person who I was having this discussion with was, you know, you're bringing, and that, they did exactly what you said. They brought up all the negative things that have happened throughout America's history to black people. And I said, obviously, those things happened. You can't discount them. They are what they are. They're horrible things. I said, but how come you can't acknowledge the great things, you know, and but you want to focus more on the bad things than the good things? But then I used the analogy of, but what about when a woman says that she's an old-fashioned woman and she's looking for an old-fashioned man? We all know back in the day, you know, during the old-fashioned times, women weren't allowed to vote. Women were homemakers. They were discriminated even more than they are now in the workplace. If you showed even a little bit of skin, you were considered a fucking whore. You had no sexual liberation. You know, men, you made all the money. They came home. They, you know, you kind of suffered through like a shitty marriage because divorce was very, what's the word? It was just very taboo. And it was, no one looked twice if you fucking smacked your wife across the face because the meatloaf wasn't ready when you got home at 6 p.m. So they conveniently, like women, and I'm not picking on women, but a lot of women, when they say I'm old-fashioned, they don't bring that part up, but they bring up the good parts, like pay for my dates, hold my hand, put your coat down over a puddle so I don't, you know, like all those, you know, cliche, you know, old-fashioned movie things. So my whole thing is, how come in the dating world, men and women can say they're old-fashioned and only talk about the good things about during that time period, but when we talk about anything else, we automatically have to bring up the bad things. So why can't we take the good things from history and build up on that? And obviously, you know, we learn about the bad things in history because we don't want to repeat it, but why not also build upon the good things? You know? That's it. I mean, that's just... So I don't know. It's frustrating because, you know, because you try to talk to people, and instead of them saying, like, I see your point or I agree with you, or even them saying, like, yes, I agree that, you know, more two-parent homes would be a good thing, they just, you know, they just fucking rant and rave, and they won't say anything, or they won't talk back, or nothing. So it's fucking frustrating. But yeah, so that's it. So you know, Killer Mike was the only one who made a little bit of sense to me. But again, like, you could see how, like, they would listen to him when he spoke, and they would listen to T.I. when he spoke, but they wouldn't listen to Katrina or Candace when she spoke. And I just find it funny. It's like everyone's talking about being respectful and this and that, but yet, you know, the two women that spoke kept getting cut off. Yeah, even though their opinions were different than a lot of the other people's opinions on the stage, they weren't allowed to express them without being cut off. So, you know, I don't know how you're gonna. But yeah, what else is going on over there?
Matter of fact, you're in the New York area. How are you feeling there? How's the response around there about the little rainbow hair kid? Kind of, you know, telling all.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah. No one's really talking about it. I mean, only time I hear about it is if I like see a YouTube clip or something, or like something like on whatever website. But I mean, supposedly Jim Jones was recorded saying that he wanted to put a hit on him or something along those lines, hurt him, violate him, as they say. I mean, you know, Shotty was banging his baby mama out. You know, so I mean, like, I don't blame him. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we're supposed to have a truth, and I'm not supposed to snitch, but at the same time, you're not supposed to try and kill me behind my back.
Exactly. I mean, you violated him in every other way, so. Yeah, I'm not mad at the kid. I mean, and they knew what they were getting into dealing with a guy. They knew what his background was and what his character was, and if it went down that way, what would happen. And so, I mean, it's kind of, it's just kind of on them more.
I mean, and from what I understand, the guy Shotty like took a deal for like 15 years or something like that. And people around here are starting to say that the reason why he took that deal was because he knew that he should have got a hell of a lot more for the shit that they have still to uncover. So he was like, I'll just plead guilty for 15 now instead of fucking waiting around and, you know, getting hit with more charges and doing like 50 years. So I think that also, to me, that in my mind, I think Tekashi knows a lot more than we even think he does right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. How do you feel about him putting Jim Jones and kind of Cardi B out there? Do you think that that'll have any implications on them?
Well, I couldn't give two fucks about Cardi B.
No.
To me, I can't stand her. I can't stand the way she talks, the way she acts. I mean, like, I see videos of her dancing around literally naked, and it's like you got a newborn kid at home. Just disgusting when she's used to fucking drug guys and then take their money. It's just, I don't know. And she's giving fucking interviews to Bernie Sanders, but meanwhile she admitted herself that she was a gang member. Like, come on, man. Like people wake up. Like, you can't see like how this fucking world's fucked up and everybody's getting used for something. But anyway. I could give two shits about her. I mean, like, honestly, I think they're building a case on her. Like, now she admitted she was a gang member twice now. Once before Tekashi said it, and once again now after he said it. She's admitted, that she used to take guys back to the hotel and the premise of having sex with them and then rob them. I think, personally, my personal opinion, that the feds are building a case on her, and eventually when they feel like dropping the hammer, they will. With Jim Jones, from what I understand, was they played the audio recording of the phone call of Jim Jones telling some other gang member that he wanted to violate this kid, which was Tekashi. So I don't blame Tekashi saying that after he heard that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like Tekashi just said it out of thin air.
Yeah. And again, and Jim Jones has admitted it too, and he's been on interviews and all over the place saying it. That's why I said I was laughing because who was it? K-Slate was trying to defend and say, "Oh, this isn't true. He's making this stuff up about him." But I'm like, these people have come out in public, and you've heard the words out of their mouth, basically saying that they're affiliated with some type of gang-related activity or associated with it, however you want to identify it. And then you're trying to clean up their act for them, but I mean, there's nothing that you can do for them. I mean, they've already said it.
Yeah, because they got to be careful. Because I mean, like the whole thing. I mean, I'm taking way back the thing with Michael Vick when people say he went to jail for dog fighting. A lot of people kind of look past it. The reason why he went to jail is because that dog fighting was all a bunch of gang rings and gangs and gambling rings, and there was a lot of drug money and illegal money going through there, which he was helping through the ability to use his premises, his properties to conduct them, and also putting money in. So he really went to jail for supporting all that gang shit and washing money and stuff like that. He didn't go to jail because he let some dog bite another dog. People. That's and I don't mean to be facetious to dog lovers, but that's not why he went to jail for 4 years. He went to jail because of who he was rolling with and what they were doing with the money that they were using with the dog fighting ring.
Yes.
People look past that. So what I was trying to do the connection was, maybe Jim Jones isn't out there on the street shooting people as a gang member. Maybe he just reps the gang and they let him because he's got a name in the hip hop game, or maybe he just giving them money, which is what I alluded to with Michael Vick. He's got to be careful because he was giving money to people and then they were doing dumb shit with it. Well, then they're gonna hit him with a racketeering charge. So, that's why I think they recorded him, played the audio for Tekashi in the courtroom, so Tekashi can say, yes, I can verify he's a gang member, and then that opens up the case on Jim Jones.
That's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting, I think, to see what what else may stem from this, or if anything at all. But again, like I said, I just find it kind of entertaining that all of these things are happening, from this one guy. And his rise and his fall. But yeah, and just like you said with the Michael Vick, it's always about the money. That's the whole thing with drugs and everything else. It's always about the money. It's not that nobody really cares that they're out there, using and doing it, but it's about the money that's not being, the government's not getting their cut off of it. And they're not going to let you run around too long making too much money without them getting a piece of it. And so I think that's just the premise that they use a lot of the times to lock people up.
Yeah. I got my last question. It's a $64,000 question.
Yeah.
So when 6ix9ine goes into protective witness program, how's he going to hide?
Well, tattoo removal technology is at an all-time high. So I mean, they're gonna have to put some lasers.
Yeah, but can they do all that? His whole face is covered in colorful tattoos. Can they do all that on the face?
Man, it'll probably take a few sessions, but I mean, it's amazing. I was watching a little video the other day because I have something that I was thinking about possibly getting removed just because. And I was just looking at it and I was just like, man, that's it. The way these lasers, some new tech. I mean, they wipe out even some of those very dark ones. I mean, it takes about 1 to 2 sessions. It's almost like an eraser. And I mean, they can clean him up pretty good. So I mean, they can clean him up. It might hurt his face a little bit, but they'd have to do a lot of stuff. They probably have to slide him out of the country somewhere or do something. Put him. You definitely got to cut the hair. Got to. I mean, it's going to be a few things. But he seems like a guy that if they let him out in public at any time, he's going to fuck around and say something stupid and expose himself, and it's going to be a wrap for him one way or another.
Yeah. I saw a meme on the internet, and it said Takashi in the witness protection program. And he was in a store, and the cash register, the cashier was like, "Aren't you Takashi 6'9"?" He's like, "I'm Dave 88. God damn it!" But yeah, and I'm saying because he's got really light skin and he's got colorful tattoos on his face, I figure the contrast would make it more difficult to get rid of it.
Yeah,
you know, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like I said, I've seen because the guy, because I think it was a white guy that they were doing them on, and he had he had a bunch of crazy stuff on his hands, and that's what they were working. Like it's like I say, I don't know if certain places work better than others, but like I say, the little work that I seen him doing, I mean, I was actually pretty surprised. But I heard it's I saw somebody say it hurts more. They like I said, there's some new techniques that are supposed to be less painful. I mean, all kind of stuff. So I guess what it does is it does something with the ink to where it disintegrates through the bloodstream. And then it ends up, I don't know, coming out somehow, some way. But good luck to him, whatever he got going on. I think it's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, I know that, who's that guy, Pharrell? The guy who sang that song Happy and the NERD group. Yeah. I remember reading something just a couple of years ago that he got skin grafts on his arms to get rid of all his tattoos.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so, but he's got the money.
Yeah. It's tough. But shit,
but
50,
anyway,
50 can get that shit off of him. He can get it off of him. So I remember 50 Cent had that big ass shit on his back, and they got that shit off of him. I mean, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Honcho, it was a pleasure chatting with you.
Right.
And enjoy the night.
All right, John. As always, man, it's good to hear from you.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one. All right, shout out to John from New York. I am dying laughing at some of these text messages. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Man, it's your boy Roman.
Roman?
Yep.
Well, howdy doody, Roman. How are you, Mr. Roman? What's on your mind there?
Oh man, first of all, it's good to hear from y'all, man. I've been on the dead a little while, man. So a lot been going on, man. You know, moving, working around, going. You know what I mean? But I'm excited to talk to y'all today, man. But it's two things I want to talk to you about, Honcho, real quick.
All right.
Okay, the first thing is, did you see that new school ad from Sandy Hook?
Man, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad, because I knew it was something that I wanted to talk about, and I'm glad you mentioned it. But go ahead, I'll speak on that in just a minute, but I'm glad you mentioned that.
You know, okay, well, you know me, I'm a young dude, you know. I'm on social media, Instagram, and first place I see it is, I think, what was it? Shade Room, World Stars, one of them. I think it was Shade Room. I've seen they were talking about it, and, you know, it starts off kind of like a normal, like, Staples fucking school commercial. Like, you know, this is what I get my backpack. This is where I get my pens, my paper. So at first I'm looking at it like, oh, because it didn't say what it was at first. And then the video just gets kind of darker. Like, you know, the girl's running. Then while they're talking to you all normally, then you got the, one boy had the goddamn scissors in the hand like he's fucking Rambo. I mean, they was using, the other girl was tying up the doors with her jacket. The other boy had the skateboard through it in the glass, get out, jumping out. I mean, it was going everywhere. To be honest with you, Honcho, man, one of the most disturbing things I ever watched. It was sad, you know, and it really hit a spot because, you know, I'm in the 11th grade, so, you know, I'm almost about to be out of school. So I'm not as much nervous for myself, but you know, I got two younger cousins that's going to be going to school eventually. You know, my other cousin about to go first grade, and his brother is, I think, in He's in kindergarten. So the thing is that they're about to hit first grade real soon. And to think about that could possibly happen, you know, it's sad. And I'm hearing two arguments of it, Honcho. I'm hearing a lot of people don't like the ad because they feel the ad or PSA because they feel like it brings a lot of fear to children and parents about school. Like I don't want to send my kids to school because I'm scared that this might happen. And a lot of people feel just kind of like what my sister was saying. Um, it's like kids nowadays can enjoy the wonders of school that maybe me, you, and other people in the den have had. We none of us probably loved school, but we always had fun memories of school. Now showing a PSA like this, it might bring a lot of fear. The parents say, you know what, I don't probably want to do public school. I probably want to do private school. You know, but in a way, I'm on the other side. I see what that message was. That message was this, Honcho. I think as a society, we're normalizing school shootings. We look at these shootings and we're sad. We pray. We might get a damn bullshit tweet from Trump, but then we move on and we don't do nothing about it. We don't do nothing to help these schools get better security. We don't even do nothing about is it the guns. It's no resolve or it's no action ever being put in. So I like that Sandy Hook did it, which makes sense because they was hit by it, and they show that we're normalizing this and nothing is being. There's no action. Nobody's going up to their senators, their governors, no, their city hall, and demanding that some rules be changed. Where's all these celebrities talk about other things? Where are these celebrities talking about safety for children to go up and go talk to Trump? And you don't see that. So that's my argument. So I've been talking too long, Hacho. How do you feel about it?
I'm not a big fan of it. In the way that
I can understand
they
that.
try to portray it, again, I think that you do have that because I get it. You're trying to spark conversation, but using kids as the tool, I guess you would say, is an old ploy to kind of. I mean, because everybody think about it. Everybody was, if you're alive at this point, at some point in time or whatever, you were a child, so you can relate to it. It's an easily relatable thing. Especially most of us all went to school, so it's a scenario that we can see ourselves in, and then people become fearful because of the idea of having to be in that situation. But in reality, the overwhelming majority of us never have, never will experience a situation like that. It is unfortunate that every time, anytime a situation like that does happen, it is very sad. It is traumatic. But
Well, Hajo, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I got a question for you. Do you think the American people, when I mean American people, I mean all of us, do you think we gloss over school shootings?
I don't. I think that we have become a little bit. I won't say we've become numb to them because I mean it's a tragedy no matter what. But I just think that using that particular commercial is just kind of propaganda to me. Like it's something about it. Like again, here's the deal. You can talk about whatever. I mean, like I'm a person like, hey, why don't you present some? Hey, here's a solution. Here's an option. Because we can talk about getting rid of the ARs. We can talk about doing all this other. There will always be violence. There will always be other issues. And so my thing is just like I just didn't care for the way. Like I understand and I can relate to the message that they're trying to put out there. I just did not care for the commercial and how it was. I just think it was. I don't want to say it was lacking taste, but
Yeah.
it just something about it didn't sit right with me. Again, because of the kids, especially with this school year being started. Like it's not just the parents that you're targeting. Kids are watching this
hmm
shit too, and now you are making kids who may be
That's
already a
why I
little
agree
bit
with you.
skittish to see, and then now they don't want to go to school or they're going to use this as an excuse, and it's a terrible deal. It is. It's a
No,
very
that's why I do agree with you. That's what you kind of saying, kind of what my sister was saying. Kids see this too, and it promotes a lot of fear about that. I might not want to go to school, and then schools lose that value of what they can really bring. You get what I mean? And there's a lot of fun that comes, especially in elementary time, and even middle school time. A lot of fun that comes in school, you know. that I feel like every kid should enjoy. They should enjoy making friends, loving their teachers, having field day, research. You get what I mean? All the stuff we enjoy when we were younger. But now, as time's moving on, it's going. School has not created a lot of fear with a commercial like this. So I do agree with you when it comes to that, But and then it turns into a gun issue, it turns into a politics issue, and you know about the gun issue. I was watching the debate on show, and I don't know you was you Hunter, you probably were.
I actually missed him. I didn't get a chance to catch him. This last.
Well, okay, I'll let you up for a minute. Well, they was talking about the gun issue, of course, not just schools, but about what happened in El Paso, of course, and in Dayton, and at Beto, which makes sense because he's from El Paso. He lives in Texas, and they asked him. They said, "So, what would you do about gun issues?" And he came and he talked and basically said he wants a worldwide ban, especially on assault rifles, and that he wants a mandatory buyback. Basically meaning, a mandatory return in a way. All AK-47s, even after a purchase, you turn them in and you just can't have no more. And then cut a ban from assault rifles after that. Look, Honcho, that's idiotic. Okay, number one, I think that might even brush past the Second Amendment. He's getting a lot of trouble for that. And then number two, people ain't giving up their guns. Okay, you ain't stopping no Americans from giving up their shit. Okay,
good luck.
You're not. But this is how I am, Honcho. I was watching my boy Secular talk, man. He's kind of a lefty. He made a good point here. What he basically said was, you can't take back AK-47s or assault rifles that people got. Those guns will be in the black market on people's shelves and people's hands forever. That's sad. It's not about we're trying to stop all gun violence in history for the rest of the world. That's impossible. People will always get shot, and that's the sad reality that people have to live. But let's think about how we could have less gun deaths. That's what I mean. Less. Now, I'm not saying eradication of all. That's impossible, like I say. So, basically, this is the thing. Why don't you do a thing where, okay, you stop a ban on stuff like high magnum casings and bullets, and then eventually you put a bill to stop the assault of assault rifles now, to where the ones that are already out, maybe you can keep them. But as time goes on from that bill now, you can't buy them. You get what I mean? Even that bill will catch a lot of controversy. You get what I mean? But I'm not a politician myself. But it's something about we need to do to stop, to lower gun violence. I'm not going to say stop, but lower. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Man, let me tell you this. If they were to ban assault rifles,
people will go apeshit.
I think that you would have more, or whatever you want to call them, AR, whatever you want to call them. I don't necessarily want to call you assault rifles, whatever. I mean, whatever you want is available. The thing is, if they were to ban them, trust me, it would be more on the streets, like you mentioned, the black market. It would be more on the streets, probably within that next week. I mean, it would just, trust me. Look, if you want it, like somebody go get it. I mean, it's just there is no ban. You shouldn't have it, but I mean, trust me, if you want it, you can get it, and it's just, it doesn't matter what that is in this country.
This should have been wrote into law that you can't get assault rifles. I mean, for when the Second Amendment was made, or even in later years. But when you read the Second Amendment, it says the right to bear arms. That is the legalizer of all guns. You should have. I'm saying, if you shouldn't this going to be a problem, people have an issue with this. People should have wrote this down in the 30s. People should have wrote this down in the 40s and say assault of the ban on assault rifles, not guns, not other guns like hand or shotguns, but assault rifles. But it's nothing a ban for that because it's a right for all guns. You get what I mean? I'm not big on assault rifles. I still don't think nobody needs an AK-47 or M4. but I can't stop it. But I don't. But my last point before I get off, man, I was hearing. Well, that was John that was talking before me, right?
Yes.
I know John more of a, I know John more leans right, and you know me, I might lean a little bit more left. I'm in the middle, but I can lean more a little bit left. But I can agree with a lot of things John was saying. There's no really disagrees, man. I think when it comes to black people, and me, like I said, wanting to be a historian, learn your history, and well, the problem with black people, we always talk about the bad of our history. Of course, the slavery, about Jim Crow, about Atlantic slave trade, about just all the bad things that have happened to us, which, like I say, should not be brushed over. Still should be taught. But what about the good? What about people who's helped? What about why people don't talk about Madam C.J. Walker, the first ever black female millionaire? Well, why is that not taught?
Because then you would
Why
have to
is
start
not
looking at
people like
yourself.
George?
Go ahead.
Why people like George Washington Carver's not who invented well, not invented, but grew the peanuts and all that, and they grew to make themselves better people. It's not about their race. It wasn't about what they had to go through. It's that they took something and they grew from it. And when we can more teach that about black people, I mean, that's when we actually don't see a glimpse of growth. But we'll always teach that oppression on ourselves, or bad things on ourselves. And that's never going to get nowhere. That's, what oppression is going to bring anger. It's going to bring distrust. It's not going to bring a sense of hope. When you teach something good to these black kids about, man, these are people before you that laid the groundwork for you to do this, man, it gives those kids hope that, man, I could possibly
Oscar
go do that.
Federico
I know a
Jr.
lot of people
donated
don't like
$1
Obama
through
in here
Super
because I know
Chat.
the James
Lol
more
face
right.
with
But
tears
you know
of
what?
joy.
Even to give the inspiration that you can be a person of color and be a president. It could possibly happen. Now, politics is a busy game, but I'm just saying, you never know. It's no inspiration right now. You get what I mean? Man, just
Heidi Kleindienst donated $2 through Super Chat. Honcho is in love with my grandma Hildegard.
I think that's it
Flushed
for me,
face. Heidi
I'm
Kleindienst
laughing
donated
because all these
$5
are
through
old
Super
fucking
Chat. Hey
super chats, and they
Honcho,
just
top
cut
5
on
rappers.
they activated.
Kleindienst.
So, you
Kleindienst.
gotta give me just a second here.
Kleindienst. Kleindienst. Heidi Kleindienst donated
Oh, my
$20
God.
through Super Chat. Love you, babe.
But my thing is, like I said, I agree with you though, as far as you talked about Madam C.J. Walker and some of the other names that you mentioned. The thing about that means that if these people, if I start talking about that, then that means that we have to start accepting certain things. And a lot of people don't want to use that because it's easy to use that crutch to say, well, the reason why I didn't make it in life is because of this thing was holding me back. But then when you start talking about people like that who were able to thrive again, like I say, in the midst of real oppression, in the midst of real racism, in the midst of situations that were legitimately, legally holding them back from being successful, they still thrived, then you have to take a look at yourself and say, well, damn.
Am I holding myself back?
Yeah, I'm fucking up. And then you have to take that accountability. You can no longer, you can't, you can't use that, well, the white man did this to me, or it's because of this, it's because my family was this or that and the third. And I think, and this is not to dismiss anything that has happened, because people, when you start saying these things, people say, oh, you're dismissing everything. I'm not dismissing these things. But if more people focused on those who were successful, how did they do it? As opposed to, well, I'm not winning because of whatever reason, that I think you would see a big shift in the culture and the way we operate. But I think we're at a point where it's too far gone, honestly.
I mean, it's not even like people like they do and they don't talk about somebody like a Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was a slave, but he taught himself how to read. Frederick Douglass was a Republican. I don't think that some people know that he was. And he married a white woman, had mixed kids. But Frederick Douglass wrote a book about himself, talking about his struggles, but what he went through and how he took from what he was really going through with slavery, and he really had, like you said, Hunter, real oppression, real hurt. and he took it, and he became a figure. He became a big figure
Heidi
in
Kleindienst
the
donated $10
the
Super
free
Chat.
plays and government.
Honcho Alice
Like he
gut
took
zum Geburtstag
shit
meiner
and
Lieb.
turned it into
Happy
gold.
birthday. Love you.
I mean, I agree with you, Honcho. I think as people, man, we just fall gone. I mean, not trying to talk about sports, but you got this fucking idiot in Antonio Brown, trying to, say all this shit, calling the general manager a cracker, and, I think we trying to turn it to a race thing, like, oh, they hate on me because I'm black. Dude, you're an idiot. You're dumb. We as black people can always blame race on something. Even in people about race, we have to call people dumb, or we have to hold each other accountable for bullshit. And Antonio Brown right now, you doing bullshit. Or Kelly right now, you doing bullshit. You get what I mean? It don't matter that they're black. If we can stop always keeping that stigma of, I'm only fooling with them because they my race, I think we going to grow more as a people still. You get what I mean? Because we can actually start holding each other accountable and say, man, that ain't right. I can't support that,
But then you have, and I agree with you on that, because you have some people who will tell you, well, you need to support any and everything because it is black. Well, then that means if that's the case, then you're going to allow any and everything, even this nonsense. That's kind of where I cut the ties. Is like, I can't rock with just because it's black don't mean that I need to accept it. Because when you start accepting tomfoolery, you start accepting nonsense, then that's what, unfortunately, as much as we hate to think of it like that, but the next man represents you in a way. Whether you agree with them, whether I agree with any nigga doing whatever, every motherfucker that is on television with dreadlocks or whatever is a representation of me to somebody who's never seen me, never met me, and that they're gonna leave a stain on the brain of the person who sees me for the first time if they don't heavily interact.
Veronica Vessel donated $5 through Super Chat. Now I see you got it.
And Heidi, thank you. But like, so to those who don't interact heavily with black folks, they're gonna be like, okay, well, he must be like these guys that we've seen on, et cetera, on TV or whatever, because they don't know me. So, I mean, it's human nature to relate to things that you've seen or to associate things that you're not familiar with. Your brain is going to try to automatically associate it with the most familiar idea. And so people get upset about that. But in reality, it's just human nature. And so I think people get mad and upset when you don't understand this, that. I mean, you can't expect everybody to do that. What you have to do is be the best version of yourself and not allow a lot of the nonsense that goes on. But like you said,
I mean, a good example, what was their name? Black Lives Matter, bro. They don't mean what they say. Okay, people forget that Black Lives Matter was formed by two lesbians. You know what that means. Two black lesbians. You know what's under that. It's always agenda under agenda. You get what I mean? So don't always, just because they're talking about black lives, people need to start doing more research about what am I looking into. That's why white men, the Democrats, have held the black vote for so many years. All they got to say is the typical, we're going to do this for black women, we're going to do this for black men, we're going to do this for black education, and bam, black people vote. No. Why don't you start doing some more research on these candidates and seeing their policies? Now people are starting to look at Joe Biden and say, oh man, he didn't want to integrate buses. He talked to segregationists. Now people want to look at Biden like he was something wrong. People weren't saying that when he was Obama's VP. They were loving Biden. Black people adored Biden. But now Biden is looked at like that. A big thing that black people want is reparations, right? Bernie Sanders ain't for reparations.
I like both.
Oh my God! No, Honcho. No, I don't want to hear that. You said that you only like reparations because you like a free check.
No, I'm fucking with you, but
you stupid, man. But Bernie ain't for reparations. So do more research on the people that you vote for. I'm not saying Democrats or Republicans too, because they might not be looking for your best interest. They just looking to take your mind and say the common thing, and you vote for them. I mean, it's stupid, man. It goes around the world, man. People, we accept, the world accepts bullshit for everything, man. For these, not just politics, but music. I mean, we accept so many lame ass rappers and singers that couldn't even hold a tune to what we had back in the day. But it actually took talent to be something in Hollywood. You get what I mean? Man, I'm going everywhere, man. Honcho, man, that's my call, man. I make this bitch 20 minutes, man.
It's all good. It's all good. It's good to hear from you, Roman. I know that you're doing all right, and that hey, hopefully that you're focusing on your books and doing well in class. And like I said, it's always good to hear from you, man.
Oh, man, I forgot this. I don't know how I forgot this. Today my goddamn birthday, man.
Today your birthday.
Yes, today's a nigga birthday. I need some happy birthday
Heidi
wishes.
Kleindienst donated $2 through Super Chat. Honcho, when are you getting married? Stop
Let me
that.
see. Let me see. I'll shoot you some pistachios.
Hey, that's good with me, Honcho, man. But yeah, thanks for taking my call, man. So I'll talk to y'all later, man.
All right. Appreciate the call there, Roman, man.
Man, anytime.
Already. Heidi. Shame on you. Shame. Shout out to Roman though. But yeah, like I think that's why I say, in my opinion, like, politics are important, but I think especially when you're talking about and then black men, I think economics should be the focus. Whether you are, Democratic, whether you are Republican, whatever it may be, if you want candidates to be fucking with you, you got to put some ducats in their bucket. That's really what it all boils down to. Just voting. It ain't just the vote. It sounds good, but you need to be focused on building these communities and building up assets long term. What is the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
This is Bad and Bougie. and I want to sing happy birthday to you in my sexy voice like Marilyn Monroe. Pillow talk. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You know, this is Miss Grace. I cannot sound sexy like Bad and Bougie.
Oh, Miss Grace, good to hear from you. How you doing, Miss Grace?
Good. If Bad and Bougie does not let me use her voice and make some money off of it, I don't know what to tell her.
This girl 6. Okay. What's on your mind, Miss Grace? How are you doing this evening? And thank you
I'm
for the birthday
doing
wish.
great. How you doing for your birthday?
I have no complaints, and life is good. I'm alive, so I cannot complain.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy. Yeah, last night I said, oh, no, I got to be one of the first to say happy birthday. But listen, a little bit to piggyback off of my native New Yorker, John and Roman, the past should be a point of reference and not a point to reside. Our people stay in the past. They're always looking to complain and bring up the past. When the children aren't doing well in school, they're mad. You mean it's our school systems, they're not giving us the best teachers. I have a news flash for everybody. Anybody that gets a teacher's license, we all take the same test. Did you know that, Honcho?
Well, I would assume that there would have to be a standard or some kind of standard across the board, but there was a like a way of leveling. How would you be able to discern what teacher is better than the next?
Yeah, so we have to pass the test. You know what I mean? So people act like it's a coincidence. You think they just happen to handpick all the bad teachers and put them in the ghettos, and the good teachers and put them in the white neighborhoods. No, we all take the same test. There was a saying that a country is only as good as its people. I say that a school is only as good as its students. Our kids are not coming in prepared. The beginning of the school year, practically all the kids have a summer reading assignment to do. You're lucky if you get 2 or 3 of them to do it. You see pictures all over Facebook. These people want to dress their kids up. Cut their hair. They send them to school looking all cute and everything, but they haven't done an assignment. They get free backpacks all over the place. Filled with supplies. The kids don't even use those things. We need to do better. Of disciplining our children and getting them ready for school. Read with them. They need to get off the technology. And even with my granddaughter, I told my daughter, okay, an hour and a half on the technology after school, an hour and a half she can watch TV, and things like that there. I gave her some magazines, read some magazines, even some short reads. But you're not going to sit there and become a vegetable and just stare at television and things. You have work to do. And my granddaughter, I pulled her out of public schools, and I helped my daughter. She goes to a private school. You mean because public schools, they're a problem. The kids do best if they're in the upper level classes like AP or honors and things like that. You mean our kids are performing poorly because our people are not doing their jobs. Look around how many people you know. Ask them, did you do your summer reading with the kid? Do you do this with your kid? They want to show everything. They don't even want to talk about it. You mean working in the schools for open house and things? It's mostly our parents that aren't showing up. You know, we could send a free bus to go pick them up. The bus goes all through our city, comes back, 2 parents get off. You know, but when I go to the nail salon, they're getting their nails done. They're getting their hair did. But they can't go to school for meetings. You mean for open house? None of that. And open house isn't like when I was younger. Open house went to display work. Now open house is in the beginning of the school year. You mean to let the parents know what is expected of their child. So the parents are ready. You should know. Yeah, we're failing. You know what I mean? And a long time ago, the immigrants that would come in here, my mother said, all different grades, they put them all in a room together. They didn't have all of these programs and things that they have today. Now we teachers have to be certified at a graduate level program, you mean, to work with kids that don't speak the English language, even if we don't speak their language. You mean most of our resources are going to the English language learners. Our American kids, I kid you not, are getting the scraps. Any parent that has the luxury to be home, I said, sign up to substitute and go in and see what the hell's going on in there. That's the only way you're really going to know. And this is the other thing. At one time, women didn't have a choice. They had to stay home. And then they progressed to getting the choice. They could stay home or they could work outside the house. Now it's gotten to the point that women have to work outside the houses because they can't afford to stay home. And let me tell you a little secret. When a woman has the luxury of having a man that she is in love with and he loves her back and he affords for her to stay home and to run the household and take care of the kids, the women that can't do it because they have to work outside the household are some jealous bitches, and they hate the women. Yes, they are. Don't hate. You mean just because your ass has to go to work? Because if I had a man, you mean that made the money and he afforded for me to stay home, and I was passionately in love with him, and he was passionately in love with me, that would be the ideal thing for me. I would stay home, and I'd run the household. You mean, because that is extremely important. Women are now forced to work outside of the household, and we are sacrificing our children. We're compromising our children.
And I agree with that. I agree with it, especially what you mentioned about the electronics, like even dealing with the little one. Like I think she might have got 30 minutes of iPad time. Like during the week, school week, there is no iPad, especially because I see how she responds to electronics and stuff. And then once she, gets a little electronics in, she kind of reacts to doing other stuff differently. She's not as active in her reading. She's not so, we kind of say that for the end of the week, the weekend, if you behave, you can get a little 30 minutes here, if you do everything you do on Saturday, if you focus on your game, your soccer game, you play well, or play focus, you're not always gonna play well, then you can get a little TV time in the evening. But it's just I'm real anti-electronics because I see what it does to these kids who are raised on this stuff. Now I know myself, there was always electronics as growing up and things like that, but it wasn't as accessible as the things are now. It wasn't the science to keep them distracted like it is now, and these kids are like zombies. I was reading an article and they were saying that this electronic dependence with a lot of these kids, especially when you're putting these electronics in their faces, babies, they can operate phones at 1-2 years old, can't read, can't say anything, but they know how to work, the apps and the YouTube, that it becomes like heroin. And you take it away from them. They don't think for themselves. They can't operate for themselves. It's almost like they go through withdrawals. And,
it's like a drug. They foam from the mouth if you take it from them.
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's real sad. So I say, no, we're not gonna have happening around here. We're gonna get some. We're gonna do some learning. We're gonna do some educating. You know, we have books, and I, kind of explain to her why books are such a wonderful tool because they help you, stimulate your imagination. Use those words how they describe the characters and how you can kind of put your own little twists on certain things. You can imagine it, kind of your way instead of just being fed an idea. You can take that idea and kind of expand upon it, create your own worlds and your own universe. So now she's kind of getting into the groove where she's kind of carrying a book with her everywhere she goes, and so it's little things like that that I find important. That I find it very sad that you go out in public and you see these kids or these parents, if they're shopping or they're just out and about anywhere, you can see in the car next to you, and these kids are just planted into a phone inches away from their face, or an iPad inches away from their face. There's no interaction, there's no social skills, there's none of these things. And I think it's going to be very sad, in 5 to 10 years when a lot of these kids get older and they have to, integrate into society. There's going to be a lot of issues. I think we're seeing some of that now. And so it does concern me,
And you're doing all the right things. All those little things are big things, like I said. And you have to stay on it, and some parents just don't want to. You know what I mean? You got to stay on it. You have to take it away. You have to teach that child to regulate themselves. You mean because as soon as you take it away and you start giving them a magazine or another book to read, you see them getting better. You mean, but they have to be taught to regulate themselves. They are children. We are the adults, and we have to teach them how to regulate themselves. Because with all this technology, they're not going to do it on their own. Because my granddaughter's right now into this K-pop stuff. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, that stuff is crazy. The Korean pop music stuff that they got. Yeah, that stuff is strange.
And when we went down to where'd I go to New York before my son went back to California, we went down. She was so excited. I didn't know that her group was there like a couple of weeks prior, and they were on the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean, we had to walk the Brooklyn Bridge, and she had to take a picture in that same spot. I am so sick and tired of looking at those kids. God forgive me. They all look alike to me. She gets mad when I say that. You mean? And I said, it's a very Michael Jackson feel, the way they dress, the way they do their hair and everything. But my daughter said when they interview those kids, they ask them who they admire, who their idols are. They always say Britney Spears, who else? Taylor Swift, Bruno Mars, those people. And I said, they're really influenced by Michael Jackson, but they can't say his name because of the sexual things with the allegations that went on. You know what I mean? So they're staying away from that. So I said, so now they're doing away with our Michael Jackson and not playing his music and things like that. And then they're coming out with these kids, you know what I mean, that are copying him but can't dance anything like him because they're counting moves that they're doing. It's not natural. You know what I mean? And they're going to look like the new heroes. They're going to get rid of R. Kelly. You know what I mean, singing like that, and they're going to come up with someone that does something quite similar, you know what I mean, and they won't be black, you know what I mean, and they're going to look like the great ones, and we are allowing it to happen. Right now, I am divorcing myself, like you are, from certain kinds of people, you know what I mean, because we are harming ourselves.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, if we have more jobs now, they're not happy. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. All we do, our people do, is complain, and it's such a turnoff that really I am just pulling myself away from even more people because I don't want to hear the complaints. I don't care what I went through in life. I am not a victim. I'm never going to be a victim. You know what I mean? And you just move on and you get it. You get the job done. You know, these people just want to complain and have every single reason why they can't. It's because of slavery. It's because of slavery. I had to tell my best friend, well, good thing we had slavery, because what would be your excuse for being lousy with your life? You mean, really, that's your excuse. They want that excuse. There shall be no excuse. I'm sorry.
I agree. You can't let any of these things hold you out. I mean, the world is a beautiful place. There's so much opportunity. There's so many just amazing people. There's so many great things to do and see and become. And it's just people, it's sad because I think it's a mentality more so than anything. And it's a mentality that's been kind of forced on people. And they buy into it so much that it justifies them being stagnant or whatever you want to call it. And it is very unfortunate. I mean, it really is. It really is.
They let the reason be their excuse. Mm-hmm. Now, we said, don't let your reason be your excuse. I don't care. And I grew up at a time, like I said, they didn't have hardly any blacks on television. I remember we used to watch Julia with Diane Carroll. She was a nurse. Her husband died. She had a little boy named Corey, and she was looking for a husband so that she could have a father for her kid. You know, my mother would call us in. When we played outside, Mama said, there's somebody black on TV. And we'd drop the ball would be bouncing in the middle of the street, and we'd all run into the house and catch the tail end of the commercial. Like, wow, we saw somebody black on TV. You know what I mean? But we're okay. You know what I mean? We still had the drive to do better. You know, these people act like we have to have somebody always teaching them and showing them, and we got to have the black role models and everything. We didn't need all of that. You mean a good person is a good person. You know, drive is drive. It has no color. And it was nice to get some of those black ones in there, but most of what we looked at on television when we were coming up, they were the white ones. Because there wasn't many black people on television. It just wasn't. You know, and then when I was raising my kids, then they had to watch The Cosby Show, and I'm pissed off that we don't get to watch that now. My kids every Thursday had to watch The Cosby Show and then A Different World, and the neighbors remember, I'd be yelling, get in the house! They'd have to take their baths and showers and things, and I always made something special in a dessert, and they had to watch it. Yeah. So they knew that we could be lawyers and we could be doctors and things. That was just part of it. But you're also watching the black, the white, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get away from calling out just black and white, a good person, or anybody that I can learn something from. I don't care what color they are. You mean to build a better you go through life, and everybody you run into, you look at what they do and their characteristics, and you say, oh, I like that. Maybe I'll adopt that. Oh, that's not good. I'll leave that one behind. And you go and you learn the good from everybody, and then you try to apply some of that to yourself, and you leave the bad behind. And that's how you build a better you.
I agree.
You know, I didn't learn everything from my mother, a lot, but I did not learn everything from my mother. There are role models all over the place. You know what I mean? You can learn from that bagman laying in the gutter. You learn, I'm not going to mess up my life because I don't want to end up like that. You should learn something every day before you go to bed. If you don't learn something new every day, you got issues.
I agree. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, it's not that difficult. I mean, every day, take advantage. I mean, wake up thankful. Wake up thankful because you have opportunity. If you wake up, just be thankful you have opportunity and try to start off by learning something and applying it. I think if you do those two things, your life is much better off.
Yes, it is. Yes, I can attest to that. Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Grace, anything else that you would like to add?
Nope, I am all set. I just want to catch the show tonight, and I'm wide awake, and I'm going to try to make myself go to sleep because, I have the gym first thing in the morning.
Okay. That's what I need to start. I need to give me a routine. The gym is right up the street, so I have no excuse. So I'm going to start implementing it soon, one day.
Well, let me tell you, I asked Prepaid the other day about the stealth water. I tried that the other day. All I wanted was some goddamn water. Can a bitch get some water? I go and I paid with my credit card. They said $10 you pay for the 64-ounce jug. And I thought that you go over to and press a button and the water would go in. I'm a good old-fashioned cave lady. Well, nope, you got to download this app, take a picture, that little reader thing, do this and another. I couldn't get it to work. It took forever to download because the Droid was more difficult. They said the iPhone has all of that already built in. Until I said, forget it. I said, tell the managers when they come in that just give me the refund. That's it. I go in there this morning, and she goes, oh, they said they can't because that's a separate company. I said, I hope you don't think I'm just going to say bye-bye to my $10. So now they're trying to help me do it again. So I said, okay, I'm going to work out. I gave the girl my phone. You download it and get it. She couldn't do it. Then she tried to do it with hers. Then the maintenance man came. He tried to do it. And come to find out, it was the computer and the machine that wasn't working. I said, I'll get my 5 free refills, and then I'm done with it. I want to go to a bubbler, or whatever you all call it, and I want to just get some goddamn water. I don't want to download apps. I don't want to take pictures of little reader stuff. I don't want to push any buttons. I don't want to do any of that technology. I just want some goddamn water.
Right. Well, I have to check that out. I'm not familiar with that. I'm going to have to look into that. I don't know about that one.
It's stealth water. It hydrates you 8 times better or more than regular water. And it does all kinds of other things. It's almost like they say a blood transfusion, but a water transfusion. And there's 3 levels to it. You start out with level 1, then there's level 2, and level 3 is for like the people that are like football players and things like that. So it shows that they drink this stealth water. So I wanted to try that.
Okay, I'm going to have to look into that. I'm definitely at level 1 right now.
You know, I'm still a level 1. I don't care. I've been working out for 40 years. You know, I'm a level 1 for that stuff water, but I'll try it. You know, I'll try it. But let me let you go so somebody else can call.
All right. Well, Miss Grace, as always, it is great to hear from you, and I appreciate you calling in this evening.
Thank you. We appreciate you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good. All right, this is what we'll do. We'll take uno más. We'll take one more call. I told the Mixer crew I'd give y'all a little bit of love this evening. And so we'll take one more call, and I'll probably jump on the Mixer for a little bit, talk a little shit with y'all. Just because. So who wants to be the lucky party? What was it that was spoken of? The video that Roman had referred to earlier. You know, I remember seeing that, and that just kind of had me feeling a particular kind of way. Let's see what we got. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Yeah, Lee. How you doing?
Man, Lee, how you been, Lee? I'm good, man. How you been, Lee, man? It's been a while.
Shit, I done been through all types of bullshit, but I'm still surviving.
That's what I like to hear.
And happy birthday to you.
Man, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. What's on your mind? What's on your mind this evening, though, Lee?
Oh, man. Shit, I know you done seen the news because you done touched on a couple of the topics and shit. Y'all touched on 6ix9ine trying to ruin all of the fucking rap industry and shit. Like, I remember when I first called your show, everybody thought I was batshit crazy because I was like, man, they gonna take them motherfuckers to Gitmo. Look, this ain't what the fuck I was thinking was gonna happen. I didn't think they was gonna get Jim Jones and shit and Bill Cosby and shit, like, for real. Like this some bullshit. Like, we not gonna have shit.
Yeah, they trying to wipe everybody out.
You had that chick talking about the bubbler, talking about fucking Bill Cosby and shit. He fucking sitting in the Hooskow and shit. Fucking, they about to take motherfucking, all of the motherfuckers that do Richard Pryor to jail. This shit ain't right. This shit wild. But, hey, for real, with that Tekashi 6ix9ine shit, what you think about that?
Man, I really find it funny because you got to look at it like, this is how I look at it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, some hoe ass shit, he snitching, you know, this. Man, they knew who that dude was when they brought him in. They gassed him up, they pumped him up, they put him in those situations to make him feel like he had some kind of little street cred or whatever else. They told him, you know, they had his back. They let him talk crazy. They let him talk reckless. They let him avoid the real repercussions of his actions. And then when shit started going, like I remember when he got kidnapped, that's when you knew it was going to start getting real foul after that. And now, you know, like I say, he found out they promised him loyalty and all this other stuff, and he found out they was going to kill him. What you think he going to do? Because he done seen these dudes do some shit or whatever else they done got into. So he probably feel like, yeah, they going to act up on that. He's probably seen a couple of that. They probably showed him a little of this, a little of that, whatever. Of course he going to flip the script. He said he turned rat the day that they picked him up. He said he started cooperating that day. So my thing is, man, that's on them for letting him infiltrate the situation. You wouldn't let any other little nigga off the street that you didn't really know like that, because y'all got money hungry. Y'all saw the dude was eating and he was popular. He was, you know, it was making money. Y'all let that money blind your insight. And so, you know, for all that, I guess it was good while it lasted. But I mean, eventually that shit was gonna happen one way or another. So that's on them.
But you notice the fucked up shit. He kind of was talking shit in that last interview. Like, fuck them.
Yeah. He was. But see, I think he already knew at that point when he was talking shit about them that I'm pretty sure the government had already tried to reach out and contact him, and he knew that he was gonna start. He was gonna do something. Like, I think he had some understanding, and you know it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know that. What do you think? How do you feel like it's gonna ultimately end up?
Shit, like, this is the thing that I know that other people don't know, and this is because, like, I actually can spit. So I know something. I turned down deals that all of them little goofy ass youngsters was trying to take on some BS. And a lot of them fools don't know it, but some of the security be on some BS doing fucking hits and shit. And remember, he tried to put a hit on motherfuckers from my neighborhood, basically. Like, he tried to put a hit out on fucking Tato and them on camera and shit for TMZ and everything and shit. And when he offered the money, he offered the same amount of money motherfuckers was trying to offer me to do hits out in the Midwest. And I said that shit when I first started calling into your show, and everybody was talking shit. Like, motherfuckers was like, he's fucking on dope. He's talking crazy. No, motherfucker, I just drink vodka, bitch. I'll be doing shit but smoking cigarettes. Yeah, like, for real. This shit funny, though. Because, like, for real, like, they only locked up everybody from his hood. Jim Jones about to get fucking... He gonna catch the L.
So you think that they go? You think Cardi and Jim gonna end up taking the L? You think that's gonna happen?
This shit cold blooded. This shit cold, man. This shit ain't right, man. This don't even make no sense. This shit. He about to get out of jail for putting the hit out, but they got a RICO case and the shit's still open.
Yeah.
His manager full of shit though. You know who his manager is? His manager and him related to the fucking mayor of Chicago.
Well, word?
Yeah. His fucking management, the reason why fucking Martin motherfucking Lawrence was bugging the fuck out, running around with the pistol. They the fucking reason why fucking Brittany Murphy ended up getting murked and shit. Man, they did all type of dirt and shit, and everybody fucking covering up for them. But it's on some wild shit because they trying to go backtracking and go sideways. Like, we just gonna arrest all the brothers and shit and get rid of everybody in the rap industry. Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. I ain't feeling that. That's some bullshit. Because he was trying to fucking rope up. You ain't noticed what he did? Tekashi was running across the map trying to start shit with every goddamn body. He fucking went to Chicago and was on some bullshit. Was fucking with that little trippy red, little weird looking motherfucking dudes look like some motherfucking magic mushroom off Mario Brothers and shit. Fucking he went out, was trying to fuck with Jay Prince and them and shit, and got his ass whooped and shit. Still talking shit. Then he went to fucking LA, got his ass whooped. Some more by Jay Prince and them shit. Cause he's just fucking with everybody. You ain't noticed that? He was on a mission trying to get people lined up to get them busted because his ass was connected with them motherfuckers and shit. Because they was like, we gonna get rid of all the fucking black people. You like the Ghetto Boys? You like Tupac? We to kill Tupac. Ha ha! You like fucking Biggie? Nah, now you like this rainbow head motherfucker that look like some shit off the Trick box. I mean,
off the Trick box. So what you think is gonna ultimately happen? Do you think he's gonna end up walking free? You think they're gonna end up hiding him? Do you think he's gonna get somebody gonna touch him? I mean, what do you think is ultimately gonna happen with this kid, man?
Man, they fucked up. They fucked up bad. Cause you gotta fucking think about it and shit, right? Look, Jim Jones and them fucked up Rockefeller and shit, right? Everybody like fucking Jay-Z, but what the fuck? This pictures of him with Abramovich and shit. Rubbing their foreheads together and shit, getting intimate. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
If he was supposed to be Jim Jones, he get caught up. Look at this, look at it like this, right? Everybody like Max B. Max B can spit.
Yeah.
Look how they did Max B. Max B wasn't getting paid. Who the fuck was he writing songs for? Jim Jones, right? Mel Matrix is motherfucking Mel Murder.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be one of the dudes that was the OG with this Tekashi dude. He's on the phone with Jim Jones. Jim Jones didn't get busted when everybody else got busted. What the fuck they waiting for? If the case still open, what they gonna do? Arrest Cameron?
Damn.
Some cold shit. Who the fuck they about to get? They about to get Jay-Z for Abramovich?
Man,
The fuck? Who they about to get?
They do have there are a lot of ties that bind, you know. So, I mean, that's pretty interesting. Like I said, I think it's gonna be real, and I think it might be a big smackdown coming soon. You know, this just may be a lot more than what we realize is taking place. Now that you mentioned that.
Yeah, that's why John Legend all doing fucking text and shit. He all on Instagram like, don't put people in jail. Jail, you know, people should get less time. Because, you know, that shit all leads back to the same fucking source and shit. Because think about it. Didn't Jay-Z take over Def Jam when Ghostface was hot than a motherfucker? Because remember that song, Run? That had fucking Jadakiss, the comp on it? That shit was fire. They straight up took all of the money and gave it to who? They didn't give it to Redman. They didn't give it to motherfucking who else was on the record label at that time and shit? Didn't they have like Ghostface, Redman, and they had Method Man? They had motherfucking who the rapper that kept getting arrested all the time on some dumb shit?
Shit, which one don't be getting arrested on some dumb shit all the time?
That be barking and shit.
You talking about DMX?
Yeah. DMX, yeah, they fucking kept locking DMX up. He kept talking all that religious shit. Didn't know they was all some Satanists and shit. They fucking it all up. No, I'm just saying, because think about it. You got all these good-ass rappers on your label and all your money going to Rihanna. Man, come on. You trying to get some pussy or some shit, man. You're not worried about no hip-hop. You trying to fuck bitches or some shit. That ain't right. You got all them good-ass artists and shit, you gonna spend all of the dang on promotional money on your goddamn self and Kanye goofy-ass and shit just for them to be fucking with that little white chick, the little country singer?
Swift.
Which one was he messing with?
You talking about Taylor Swift? When he walked on stage and shit?
Yeah, snatched her fucking glory and shit just for everybody to hate on him and shit. Even Obama was talking about he was a jackass for that one and shit. He didn't get no love like ODB got. Because you know me, I'm old school. I still respect Coolio and ODB. I don't give a fuck how crackish they are. I think they don't equal the level of these new rappers crackhead shit. Because they like crack baby level and shit, and you know, like the OGs always gonna dominate over that little goofy shit. I don't give a care what nobody say. Like for real.
Okay. Yeah, Coolio had a run, and that's the fucked up part. Coolio had a nice little run, and then I don't want to call it nice, but he had Gangsta's Paradise. He had a Fantastic Voyage. Then he had Gangsta's Paradise, and then he had another little song after that, Too Hot. But that was a remake. Fantastic Voyage was a remake too. But
yeah, but this is the weird thing. If you rewind, if you listen to the deep album cut on his first record, on the record that had Fantastic Voyage, he had Down with the Mad Ass, You Know Who. Listen to that shit. That shit was hard as hell. He had that song Can of Corn. That shit was hard as hell. He had that song I Remember. That song was bad as hell. If you go on there, it was a bunch of good shit, but it was just on that first record and shit. Like, a lot of people's first albums was hard as hell, and everybody don't realize it. Like, if you go back and listen to old E40 shit, I remember one time you talking about E40 and shit on the show.
E40 went hard.
I remember you trying to throw that shot at me and shit, talking about, you playing Captain Save-A-Ho. Nah, man, motherfucking, the girl that could have been my baby mama got human trafficked. I couldn't help that shit.
Yeah, man, look. E40 Fonzarelli, sprinkle me. That's when I first got on that E40. Yeah, E40 went hard, man.
Dusted and Disgusted. Remember Dusted and Disgusted with Tupac on that shit? That shit was badass. Like on that one record. Which one, like, what the hell was the name of that fucking record that had Dusted and Disgusted and The Bumble? Remember The Bumble?
I don't know about that one.
You didn't, man, it's your birthday. You better bump The Bumble.
The Bumble?
They should have knocked up speakers loose.
No, I don't think I know about that one. I'm going to have to check into that.
Yeah, you need to check that. That track is hard as hell from back in the day.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with that one. I'm going to have to look into that one. Okay.
That shit was hard as hell. It was on the same record they had that dang on Dusted and Disgusted. Everybody be sleeping and shit. That's why the fuck they don't know how to flow. You said you gonna freestyle too and shit, man. I don't hear your flow.
Man, look, hold on. Y'all gotta catch me early in the night. I'm gonna give y'all some of that old school H-time shit. Nah, one day we'll have a little freestyle Friday. We'll have some fun with it. Once I get everything like I want it. And we'll definitely have to make it, man. But Lee, man, like I say, it's good to hear from you, man. I'm gonna get ready to wind it down. I mean, I hadn't heard from you in a while. I know you be in the mix, just cooling and listening, but I hadn't heard from you in a minute, man. And it's always good to hear from you. Know you're doing all right, and you know what I'm saying.
Like I've been doing some other shit because like I've been like trying to help out with a couple other shows that be trying to research certain shit. And like for real, one of the shows, like I don't know if you heard about it, Jamie Deluxe. They found out that the governor of Illinois, Pritzker, his family got people that was hanging out with Epstein. We've been having all of these issues in Wisconsin and Illinois is because of that. Pritzker literally got some shit where one of his fucking cousins trying to invest money to turn little kids into transsexuals and shit. Like he invested $1 million into it. And old boy was caught up there. He was like on video next to Epstein and them, doing lectures and shit before he got busted. It's some cold shit. They slick, man. They slick.
Yeah,
you hear about George Clooney?
No, whatever Clooney.
Oh, Clooney. A lot of people fucking investigating his ass and shit. For real. That's why this shit don't make no sense. I like Dusk Till Dawn. It's some bullshit to me. But he supposedly had Bell's palsy. I don't know if you heard about that, but children with Bell's palsy in their face, that's supposed to be from high stress if they got abused or something and stuff. So, like, I don't know. But they talking about he had something to do with some cold shit with the CIA. I don't know. But that might be what the hell got to do with that little Takashi 6ix9ine with his little foul shit. That's why he's skirting off and everybody else about to get locked up and shit. Because I like Mac. God dang it. They better let Mac be the fuck up out this motherfucker.
Already, man. But that's the best leave, man. Like I said, I'm finna slide up out of here, man. But I appreciate you calling me in, man. And it's good hearing from you, big dog.
Yeah, happy birthday and shit, man. Do a shot of vodka for me and shit.
Oh, man, you know, I'm gonna do an imaginary shot. You know, I ain't drank in a while. It's been a minute since I had a drink, so. But one day soon, maybe one day soon, we'll do an old school drink den or a little smoke den one day.
All right, man.
That's a bit, man. I appreciate it.
Hearing you on your show and stuff, man, and shit, man, maintain and stuff, you know, one.
No, I really appreciate it, Lee. That's a bit. Alright. I think we're gonna end on that note right there, man. But I do want to say shout out to Jay Dizzle. Man, Jay Dizzle, I think I screenshotted it. I'm gonna send it to you. I was looking at a video with it was Josh Dobbs, it was Deshaun Watson, Warren Moon, and EJ Manuel, and they were just talking about the issues of being a black quarterback back in the day versus now, and things like that. And I was just kind of scrolling through the comments, just seeing what people was talking about. And there was a Jay Dizzle in the comments. I was like, oh shit, Jay Dizzle got a clone out there, man. Let me inform him of what I've seen. Shout out to Broderick. Yes, Joy Love is legit. Definitely holding. Big super monster fucking burgers. Now I gotta go try out Barney's. I might need a couple of days to get the Joy Love up off me though. But I just want to say thank y'all, man. Shout out to everybody. I appreciate all the happy birthday love wish. Man, if you watch Joe Brown, you follow Joe Brown on Twitter, that's the realest nigga. Joe Brown is the realest nigga on Twitter. That man ain't playing no games. But I want to talk about something that Lee said real quick before we wind it out. You got to think about the economics that are involved in this whole transgender thing, right? Why this stuff is getting pushed so much, and why people are you got to look at the ties that are going on. I hate to be Captain Conspiracy Theory and all that other crazy stuff, but think about the money that goes into transitioning, right? Putting kids on medicines. Here, take these hormone blockers for a few years. Take this, whatever, I don't know, I guess hormones, different types of hormones. All of these medications, medicines, and things that you are forcing people to take. This transgender thing is great for the medical industry. I mean, you got people who are going to be making money. I mean, I don't know what insurance does and doesn't cover when it comes to shit like this. But all this stuff is great for the medical industry. It's another ailment. It's another ailment that people are plagued with or dealing with or whatever, and they talk about a lot of this stuff and how it's more of a mental thing and how a lot of these people can be very unstable. But you give them this medication, you give them this surgery, all of this stuff costs money. This is great for the medical industry. This is great, people needing a reason to do something else. People needing to, Murphy Lee, of all people, Murphy Lee. Me and my old lady was arguing about rappers and putting on their friends who can't rap. And we were talking about Murphy Lee and somebody else. Because it was like, rappers, they'll pave a lane. Hey, Just Sarah, my fault, I just missed it. I just not seen it. I got to look at the other chat. Shout out to Just Sarah. My bad, I missed you. I ain't dish you. And like I said, you got to think about all this stuff. So pushing this idea of men not to be so masculine and get in touch with your feminine side and do all this and do all this, start acting like women, does a few things. Well, like say you talk about limiting the population growth. You can talk about, again, all the benefits for medical practitioners. I'm sure there's therapists are eating off of it because I'm sure there's some type of therapy involved to deal with the mental aspects of conversion or even when you try to come back. The doctors are eating, big pharma's eating, everybody is eating off of this, You say, KW, welcome, Kate. Appreciate you joining in, and I'm glad that you're able to catch it tonight. Thank you for watching. But like I say, it's just so much going on, man, that you just have to question the purpose and what is the idea, what is the premise that is being pushed, you know what I mean? So, like I said, it's a lot, and it's something we may get into soon. And like I told y'all, now that things are kind of getting settled in, I got some stuff I got to work on over the weekend, but I do plan on a live tomorrow for the Den, and I'm gonna start trying to implement them back in on days that there are no football games. I do plan on trying to get them back live, and then working around the sauce and stuff like that for right now. But I got a question before we get ready to wind it all the way down. Before we get ready to shut it down, I just want to know what your thoughts are, right? No football, because like I said, I plan on watching more, because usually like last season I don't really watch like Texas, but I do plan on doing a little bit more watching opponents and doing some other things like that. Just little things I want to do to start providing better coverage of the team. I got some Charger stuff I'm gonna drop tomorrow. I'm saying that I'm feeling comfortable, but that's all stuff. But I want to know what y'all feel. Should I go back to the green screen backgrounds you know, because they offer variety, and I think that they work a little bit better as far as, you know, kind of differentiating the sauce from the Den. I know most of y'all don't fuck with the sauce, so it doesn't really matter. But, you know, just the variety, you know, just being able to change stuff up, implementing different things, different looks. Or to kind of keep it blank and maybe put some things up. Because like I said, I was thinking about putting some stuff up, but I think that it you know, I like the variety that the green screen provides. You know what I'm saying? So. So everybody's saying, everybody's saying green screen. Okay, as long as the screen is on. Okay. I'm thinking about, like I said, I was thinking about it because that's kind of where I'm leaning myself. Because like I said, I just like the variety. I like to be able to just, you know, sometimes put a little goofy shit up. I think it helps. I like the little night stuff behind it. But we'll make it shake. But man, I appreciate y'all. Mixer crew, will be on the mixer here shortly. That's the benefit of not having to run up and downstairs and do all the other extra shit. I'm liking the move, and I appreciate y'all. And I want to take a few minutes just to say, man, thank you to everybody who has been supporting via promotion, just telling people about the Den, supporting, you know, via participation in the group, Patreon support, those who have actually been sharing, you know, fiscal donations, just opinions, creative, what's the word? I'm sorry, critiquing. You know, I appreciate constructive criticism is the word that I'm looking for. That is something that I really do appreciate, because to me, when you take the time to kind of like break something down and critique it or just offer a suggestion, that is extremely valuable. I may not take everything in heart, but I do like to take it. I mean, I just like to know the opinions, and so I do value you guys. And like I say, it's this community that has come together and just formed. Like I said, I want to get things back on a regular schedule, and that will happen very, very soon here. Just man, I appreciate y'all. Again, like I say, thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank y'all for everything. And just I appreciate y'all, man. I do. It's just like it's something special we got here. We're gonna get it back on track. But if you want to come join the mixer conversation, that's a whole different thing. That is the games. And thank you, Kate. I love y'all too, man. I really do. Y'all, like I say, y'all make it worthwhile. I appreciate it. There's some things that I'm going to talk about. Well, I'm going to talk about for a second. That it could be my fault, but I got more love from the denfolk, Sauce Nation, people that, you know, I stream with, stream and things like that, than people that I have known for years. You know what I'm saying? For years. Outside of, you know, Baker Man counts. Well, he counts because, you know, he be in the Den. But outside of that, outside of maybe Baker Man, only person not necessarily affiliated with streaming and other stuff that shouted out to me was my own mother. Isn't that sad? It's very sad. Very sad. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm not mad at anybody about it. But it just tells me some things. And it just makes you just like, what is really going on? But I'm not going to trip on it. The horror. So far, man, so far so good, man. Lots of variety of places to eat, man. And I see so many places I want to try. And I'm gonna have to really get back on the workout tip, because I can't bounce back and fool around and get fat again. But I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. I'm gonna slide out. Make sure we'll put the link in here real quick. so that y'all have it. Yes, I got the burger today, and it was excellent. It was a great. I mean, it was intense. Shout out for the six. Well, now I'm ready to try the Bernie's Burger Bus. That's next on the list. There you go. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Right there. And everything else being said, like I said, I appreciate y'all. I will be in the den, or I'll be in the mixer in probably about 5 minutes here. So, with that being said, the crazy double. So it was lit. It was large and in charge. Whoop my ass. But I ain't gonna let no burger hold me. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool, man. And I thank all of y'all for being great people. Again, make sure you follow Den Show Live on all the proper social medias. Shout out to everybody who showed love. And man, I just thank y'all, man. And like I said, we'll be back at it tomorrow. And I plan on dropping some short content tomorrow too. So stay tuned for some shorter videos. And with that being said, go.